solo.
And hello! Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We're going back to Nemo's War, which might surprise some of you who saw my last Nemo's War playthrough when I was not a happy Greg. I was a very unhappy Greg. There was a lot of things happening. My door's open to the basement. There's like 7 painters upstairs. That's fine. Whatever. They'll realize how weird I really am. All right, let's make this happen. So I might have had some false advertising because I was like unclear motivations, and I'm pretty sure I want to do piracy unless the chat really wants me to go in a different direction. Piracy is definitely the motivation I've been exploring the latest, and it's the one I feel like I'm the worst at, and I have some ideas that I would like to implement. But if the chat really wants to go in a different direction and doesn't want to make a liar out of me, or wants me to like actually, not be false advertising, then we can randomize it. We can do something else. Let me get to the chat really quick. We have don't know what you're talking about. My motivations are always clear, says Saget. Silva Fear, what's up, Brian? Manticore or bust, right? Saget at Silva Fear. This time I think I have a better shot as Team Scouts. Don't think there is a high probability of Manticores in this game. There is a Kraken, says Brian. Saget, yeah, but mixing up a Kraken and a Manticore is like someone mixing up a Prowler and a Tracker. We really want you to go in a different direction. Cat videos! I would love to make some cat videos. I think give me about 2 months. I'll get that worked out. Saget said, don't mind either way, Greg. I will have to leave soon anyway. Yeah, I know this early start time is not great for the majority of people. Unfortunately, that is the time I had today. Yeah, so here we are. I have done 3 Nemo's War videos. This will almost inevitably it's a hard word, be my last. I did the Explorer motivation, we've done the War motivation, and we have done the Science motivation. Off camera, I explored anti-imperialism. I was like, that's fine. I explored the adventure motivation. I like that one a fair amount. Just a little bit of like, adventure mechanic is basically every time you have a lull turn, you end up adding these adventure tokens, and when you go there, you do a search, and then it tells you where else you need to go to actually claim the token by either doing a fight or a search action there. Or an adventure action there. They can give you a lot of points. I explored the world order motivation. That one seemed a little cheese. You basically get, the scoring isn't great other than you basically just have to fill up 2 of these to like the nth degree. So you would get, maybe I was doing the scoring wrong, which would make some sense if I just totally was misunderstanding that. And the Scourge, that might be something I had a little bit wrong, because I just thought like you had like fill up 2 of these, then you got like both of them. You get the 2 mark. Got it. Cool. I think I was scoring it where I was just, I had Western Pacific and Eastern Pacific filled, so I just took 40 for both. But no, you would just get the 2 rightmost. That's fine. It was an interesting mechanic. Again, it was a stern motivation. And then we had the humanist. Humanist motivation was fine. I don't love how it's like, hey, you're doing the same thing that you do in a normal game, except we're going to call it all by different things, and then you're like, well, that's unnecessarily confusing. I mean, if you want to explain to me thematically why it's different, that's fine. But I feel like now it's a goodwill action, but it's the same as an incite action, and I don't know, so that was a little weird. And then you have now finally the piracy motivation. The piracy motivation is super interesting, and I don't know why it just dawned on me that I was doing world order wrong. Again, just when you're trying to learn all these motivations, there's a lot of different things. I think the more I've explored the motivations, the less it makes sense to me. The idea of switching motivation halfway through a game, at least in the current iteration of the game, and I'll get to that in a second. I just don't see how you could build toward this one thing. You start with, one room, assuming you're spending the ship resources to do it, and now like halfway through the game, you're gonna go in a different direction. I don't see that being a good idea. Although I think with the piracy motivation more than any, there are a couple of cards in this deck that absolutely crush the piracy motivation. Again, like that card that turns all the British ships into warships right off the bat is so broken. There's the Q boats motivate like card in here. There are some events that I just, if you're gonna give me another motivation, like tweak the setup. Hey, take these cards out, like because they're just not balanced at all. And I think that's again the unmitigated swinginess of this game is still what drives me nuts, especially for what it is. There was a very interesting conversation about Nemo's War in the comments of my last video. I would definitely encourage people to check it out. I guess the initial Nemo's War was a much shorter experience, and the whole game was all about choosing your motivation. And what the game has become has kind of changed that somewhat. And again, it's just all through the comments. And it was Tom, who I find to be this a really a font of information and like just interesting tidbits about the history of some of these games. So I definitely encourage people checking it out. In a current form, I do think there's some changes should have been made. Uh, and I don't know. I've grown to really appreciate this game more and more, while simultaneously growing. This is not a forever game for me, but I'm super excited to get it on the channel one more time. I've enjoyed exploring it, and maybe I'll play it one or two more times off camera, and then happily move it on. So here we are. The Sagitt, well, then time to finish on a high point and lose this game terribly. And hey, look, every game needs its version of why cold toughness doesn't work against arcane immune enemies, to name one example. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are things that Nemo's War does that I don't think makes like that are just like mind-boggling. That's another term. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? Mind-bogglingly weird and unbalanced and wacky. I mean, there's rules that are like that just doesn't make sense to me, and then there's like this. Then there's like, oh, every British ship is a warship, which I don't care. There was not a single motivation where that makes the game more interesting or more fun. Um, and I think that's a problem, right? Like it's not like, oh, great, yummy. Maybe war, but it just radically puts pressure on you in a way that's just not good, and it utterly just demolishes anti-imperialism. It demolishes privacy. It demolishes scientists. It demolishes any pretty much any of the non-standard motivations. So 7 of the 8 motivations, like you see that, and you're just like, oh well, the game's over. I mean, you get that card early, and it's just it's a restart, and I will, if I get that early enough today, I will just restart. Like I'm not going to do what I did last time and muddle through. I did get a insanely high score last time, but remember I also died. So like I played out the last couple of turns, but remember it wasn't. I didn't actually finish the game. I think I lost based on one resource went to crap. It's always one of those days. Let's not kid ourselves. Exactly. Also, while you were introing, have you played for the first state? If yes, solo. I have played for the first state. I have not played it solo. I liked it a lot when I played it against my friend Brian. It's one of those games. I might borrow it from him at some point. I have other games I want to explore. I thought it did some cool things. Not a huge fan of the designer, at least some of his stuff, some of his games, some of his antics. But we'll I've heard good things and about the solo mode, but yeah, man, if is that a game you're exploring? I mean, I'm let me set story time is Sagitt right now. Let me know if you're exploring that, man, and let me know if it's something I should more strongly consider from a solo perspective. All right, let me shuffle these cards. These are the finale cards. There are 12 of them. I'm going to roll the die. That's a 4, so we're taking this out. All right, and then we're going to need to get our family reunion card. So again, this is the finale card. I'm going to get the unwanted reflection card. So again, we have to like build a cake here for the piracy motivation because, Brian hasn't told me to go in a different direction, and Sad just said I can choose, so I'm going to choose. So that card is going to come in. We're also going to put the red, a hollowed explosion rising action card there. We're going to get the family reunion cards. Rolling a die. This goes here. And then we have all of these. So I'm going to shuffle these and just hope that Q-Boats and the War Office Act cards go very, very far away. Brian, what's up? Piracy sounds fun. Excellent. Let's make it happen. Yeah, it's a hard motivation. My approach, I think, has been off. I was thinking about this last night where I was like, all right, I was doing a couple of games off camera, and I just was running into kind of some serious issues. There are some parts about piracy that are counterintuitive. There are also some rules adjustments that I find a little unnecessarily punishing, but I'll get into all of that. But I do like the feel of it. I like, it's like one of the you really are just playing the bad guy, and I think that's an interesting wrinkle to the game. Again, provided you just don't get one of the two events that absolutely nerf you. I mean, the fact that they gave you such an event, like if it was like, hey, in effect for 5 rounds, I could see it. Or like if you had a way to get rid of it, like there's nothing that lets you get rid of an event that's in play, right? Because some of them are just in play for the rest of the game, and some of them are really annoying. It's like, well, like, hey, the Japanese ship one, where you're not looking at those little flags. If that was something I needed to look out on, you have to make that more apparent. You can't just have this little art in the corner because you're not trained to look at that all the time, right? So I get really, I question some of the choices um, with the events because I just find them so like just that you're adding finicky rules to a game that already has a lot of rules, and I think you have it. They weren't designed with the player experience in mind, and I think that's a problem. There's some like designers like, look how clever I am, and it's like, yeah, but if you're making your game less fun, I don't care how clever you are. You're just making your game less fun. So I don't know. It's a thing. The British ship one, especially, is just so stupid. Like, again, I think thematically, there's a lot of reasons for it, I'm sure. But when over half the ships in the game are British, like, you can't make every single one of those, go to the harder side. The harder side, like, you're just absolutely, derailing. Um, I think you're absolutely derailing, your game in a way that's just really questionable. All right, so that's my rant for today. Moving on. Well, until I pull that card, and I'm going to rant about it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you got the card late, it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, also, like, there is a card that you can get, like another card that if you have early, it allows you to negate a future card. So like if you can get that card early, that'd be helpful. But with my luck, I just end up pulling the British ship thing at like the worst time, like every second or third game, I feel like. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the top of our deck. 1, 2, 3 goes here. I need 13 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That goes here. And then finally, I need 4 more cards here. Those are our events. We're going to take the 4 cards in the back that I just put down, plus the finale card. We're shuffling those up. I'm going to just roll the die to make sure these are maximally random. It is always one of those days, as Sajid said. This will go here. Sajid says, personally, I think it works so nicely at 2 players, and I'm not likely to pick it up as often for solo. Rather reserve it for when it is more of us playing. Yeah, I think I'd like to play it again. I don't know if the solo would have enough for me. It seems like one of those games where it's primarily a competitive game, and the solo mode's nice, but is it going to be so nice that I'm going to want to play it a lot? Probably not. I mean, Gaia Project is like, again, the only game that I would consider competitive first in its design that I just adore solo, and I'll keep playing it. Most of my games are probably solo first in their designs. And then I'm talking about like competitive games. I also can play solo. I guess you could put Maze Knight in that category too, but Maze Knight has become primarily a solo game, right? So, co-op games are a little different. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think of other games that have like an automa system that are in my top 10. I don't think there are any. I mean, I think it's Gaia Project, and then the rest of my top games are all solo or co-op games. But it was just funny because I remember I started with Scythe. I mean, Scythe was really my first big solo game for sure, and I'm probably not alone on that. Just what that game meant to the industry when it came out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These can go here. We're going to put the Act 3 card, the second intermission, on top of that. We're taking these out. You missed my point on solo. Did I? Oh, I'm sorry. Sajid, I have only played the basic original solo mode, which was fine, but not groundbreaking. Then they added the mode, which was in the past a fan-made solo. Curious to try that one eventually. Oh, cool. Thank you. Sorry for that. So many chats. Rolling these dice again. We just have 3 events and then a family reunion card or family. Yeah, I think it's the family reunion card. So just make sure those are nice and random. This goes here. And then we have the 6 cards that go on top. Those are already shuffled, so I'll just leave them as is. I am playing with the character expansion, so we have our first officer, our second officer, our chief engineer, Consul Ned Land, and Professor Aronnax. They are character resources for us. Eventually, we will also have Nadine. He will show up in some form or fashion. He is Nemo's long-lost son, who does appear. On the Piracy motivation, we have the option to start with the map room. The map room is going to give us 6 points at the end of the game because I think it counts as a sunk non-warship. The scoring in this game is another thing that it's mind-boggling to me in a scoring-based game how poorly you explain the scoring. It's like, this is your 3rd edition. This rulebook should be so much friggin' better than it is, and it's really tilting. But I think that's worth 6 points. Maybe it's just worth 3. I don't know. Someone can tell me in the end if I'm wrong. But what happens in the map room? I get +1 dice roll modification for search actions. After examining each drawn treasure token, I can draw a second one for +1 notoriety or 1 Nemo. Keep one and return the other to the treasure cup. When discarding treasure tokens that have a treasure VP value, you may return them to the treasure cup instead. Ante his sectorum was Nemo's map room. He beckoned me to enter, and I beheld the visual cacophony of globes, scrolls, and snaps of paper piled, pinned, and plastered to the walls. Their arrangement, markings, and connections revealed a mind focused on finding their prized secrets. Captain Nemo began exploring his methodology. So normally this would cost 4 resources, 4 salvage ships if you were going to refit it onto the what's the name of our ship again? Onto the Nautilus, but we can actually start the game with it. So again, we just have to spend 4 resources from our ship. So I spent 3 Nemo and 1 hull. We will have the option to add a second fitting before the game starts too. Just give us a little bit. We're going to have I am playing with the Deadly Seas expansion as well. So I'm going to have these 10 tokens here. I'm going to randomize where they get placed. One's going to be placed at each of these piles of ships. So I'm rolling a D10. That's a 1. I'll put that there. A 3. Put that there. I'm going to get a D8. I do have a little thing I'll be rolling in today. We'll be trying to see how that works for the channel. Instead of, the dice hitting everything and knocking stuff all over the place, as, I've you've grown accustomed to me doing over the last few years. Trying something new, kids. All right, so now we have 5 of these left. 2 are going to come out of the game, so I'm taking 5 out of the game and 1 out of the game. The other 3 are going to go in the ship bag. Again, the ship bag is already populated with 30 white ships and 14 yellow ships. The yellow ships on their reverse side are purple. All warships have a reverse side that is purple. We're gonna go ahead and do our starting fittings. So we're gonna take 5 cards of our choice and put them into a stack of potential Nautilus upgrades. I have chosen the Steam Torpedoes, the Strengthened Prow, the War Room, which is what you could start with in the World Order motivation, and the Periscope device, which you can start with in the War motivation. I also have Monstrous Design. I'm gonna shuffle the rest of these cards. And we're going to put out 5 more that are going to be potentially available to us at the start of this game. So we have the Diving Apparatus, Nemo's Manifesto, Adventurers League, Prized Quarters, or Prized Crew Quarters, and the Electro Coil Bolts. That was a hard one. We eventually got there. Now, some people are like, hey, why are you revealing those? They should be shuffled. Whatever. I'm not going to randomize by taking these 10 cards and shuffling. I am just going to roll the die. It just makes life a little bit easier. So I'm going to take this D10 and we're going to put 4 of these available. I got an 8, so we have the Adventurers League. And I can read these. My legacy, after Gwalior, I escaped to gather great hearts and blaze a trail across the world. The example of our deeds and tales of our adventures should inspire all to a better future. The imperialists still task me, but now I fight them on my own terms. So that would be 3 salvage to get. Otherwise, we could spend 6 ship resources to start fitted with. I'm playing on everything I'm saying to is the officer level. There are 3 levels. There's like the easier level, I think, which is sailor. There's officer, which is like kind of the middle level. I bring it like probably the way the game is intended to be played is my guess. And then there's a harder level, which you can play if you don't like having fun, because woof. It's bananas. All right, I rolled another 8, so we get the prize crew quarters. Of course, the 5 that I really want are all here. I always roll low numbers, and now I'm rolling high numbers. So figure that out. Captain Nemo delegated his first officer, Rojas, to sort through the human flotsam in the battle's wake and recruit from among them the skills most needed aboard the ship. So this is, instead of placing a sunken ship token as salvage, you place it on this card. After each rest action, successful or not, you may discard one of them to train, i.e. gain 1 crew resource. Yeah, that's not happening. The Adventurers League is something I would be interested in, but I really want one of these 5 things up here. So let me roll a d8 and see if we can't get some of those. I rolled a 4. The Periscope device. Again, normally you would need 3 salvage. You no longer gain +1 notoriety between consecutive bold actions. Also, you can now make consecutive stalk attacks, but if successful, but if you do, you gain +1 notoriety between each. So one of the things I find interesting about the piracy motivation is that it's really saying, oh, notoriety doesn't matter, but you're trying to kill non-warships, and the higher your notoriety gets, the more warships you're adding to the bag, and that's not great. So, and there are certain detriments to getting to 50, which I'll read through all the piracy stuff as we go, especially going through scoring. So like this being able to limit, do bold attacks and not take notoriety could be really important. I very much will try to keep my notoriety very, very, very low. That is like a high priority for me in making the piracy motivation work, at least from what I've seen in my plays off camera. So this could be good. When Leon Foucault improved the reflecting telescope in 1857 by introducing a process of depositing a layer of silver on glass telescope mirrors, Captain Nemo saw the potential of this idea in terms of a periscope device for the Nautilus. That's going to go there. I'm going to roll this die 1 more time. I rolled a 2. We get the Strengthened Prow. Receive a +1 dice roll modification to all Nautilus non-torpedo attacks. Ramming as a naval combat tactic fell out of use in the Age of Sail. But in the Age of Steam and armor plating, the ram was resurrected in an effort to punch holes beneath the enemy's waterline. The results were quick and complete. Yeah, baby, let's ram some dudes. All right, that would cost 4. So those are my 4 options that I can choose to get one of those at the cost of double its salvage cost. I can spend double that by in ship resources to start with it. So that would be 8 ship resources, which is bananas. But it is something I'm I'm considering, because I do want to make sure that I am, that my attacks early are effective. But that is a lot of ship resources, and that's going to mean I'm going to have to spend some actions early to get, my hull back, probably more than anything. Um, Woof. The Prize Recorders is a non-starter. The Adventurers League is interesting, but just with what I have to do with attacks, so much. War is super interesting too, but if I'm losing the attacks, it's not going to matter. Woof. Steam torpedoes would be a much easier. I'm just not sure if the +1 is like everything I want it to be to justify this, but I think. Where was the? Oh yeah, yeah, that would have been nice. I think Monstrous Design would have been a lot better. Well, here we go. I'm going to spend 8 resources. So we're spending 1 more from Nemo, 2 from crew, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from hull. That's bananas, but here we go. So I'm going to get, I spent 8, so I spent 12 resources total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And now we have the strength and prow. Jen says, Melo. Sadness is for me, playing Imperium will probably be that 51st day for solo, especially since my brother really did not like Imperium, so I only get to play that on my own. Yeah, man, you have fun with that. I wish you luck. I definitely sold my Imperium. I don't know if I was like, I gave up. I was like, I'm done. Uncle, square multiples are simple icon match multiplier imply. Are they? I guess that's what I've been playing. It's very not clear in the rule book because the terminology is weird, right? Like it's not. It's I don't know. Whatever. I have grapes. The rules are definitely an old school war game style. It's weird to read when you're not used to it, but I have not found anything that did not clarify. All right, that's good to know. That could be just you're just not a war gamer. Enough of a war gamer maybe. Sadness, I honestly find this kind of a generational thing. Plus, depends how much you are used to tech documentation. A lot of the corporate crap I need to read through is almost the same style. Did I hear a woof? Yes. Jen says I read a lot of tech docs, and I'd say I agree with you. By the way, I'm pretty sure you never refill the upgrades row. I think I saw Greg do that in a previous playthrough. You do add one. You don't refill during the game unless something says add one. But in the beginning of the game, you absolutely are supposed to add one. I'm almost sure. I'm almost sure of that. I will clarify. But I'm pretty sure you take one of those 6. Randomly place a newly purchased Nautilus upgrade at the event from the remainder of your initial 10. So you do replace it now, but during the game you do not. So if you do add, there are cards that allow you to add to it. So if I made that mistake, that might have been a long time ago. But you actually do add from one in here. That I'm correct on for sure. So I'm gonna randomly take one of these 6. There they are. I got a 2. The war room is now here. The war room can be super interesting for any D6 combat or 2d6 combat, whether attacked or attacking or incite roll. After rolling, you may change one die's result to a 2. At the end of a short dark corridor, we discovered a door marked Cubiculum Belli War Room. Cubiculum Belli War Room Council. Council asked, translating the Latin. Ned and I exchanged a concerned look before Ned tried the door hatch, pushing hard against it to no avail. The secured room and the secrets foreshadow the great infamy, Nemo's War. Dun, dun, dun. All right, now these 5 come out of the game and are joined with the rest of the Nautilus upgrades. We might see them in the future. Hint, hint. This goes there. All right, so that's done. We need to grab some starting characteristics for our dudes. The chief engineer is going to get 1 of these tokens. Some are pretty crappy, most are good. It is a confidant. I can get rid of this at any time to get a Nemo. When I do, I will also get a notoriety. I will probably do that early, considering, Nemo's not in great shape. The second officer is going to get 1 of these. I got the linguist plus dice roll modification to all incite actions for the entire game. Whoa, that's really sick. Okay, that's good. Interesting. I guess the second officer is usually pretty expendable, but I guess we're trying to keep him around for most of the game. And side actions are going to be one primary way for us to get our notoriety down. And then we have the first officer, the fatalist. Plus, you can discard it for +3 dice roll modification after a roll. But when you do that, you will get 2 notoriety. And finally, last but not least, we have the organized. I can discard this for +1 action. So a nice array of characteristics there. Not upset about that. Let's talk about piracy, baby. Let's talk about piracy. Piracy, baby. I don't know. This doesn't really work. But there was a song in my head, and unfortunately, the execution was pretty terrible. So, piracy. Arr! While piracy is Captain Nemo's motive, you cannot suffer a notoriety defeat. Instead, freeze the notoriety marker and place it upon reaching the war defeat box, which is effectively 51 on the little grid there. These rules remain in effect for the rest of the game. So once I get to box 51, I have these 2 rules I need to remember. Infamy to infinite, and again, I'm playing in a way that I'm hoping to never get past 9. So stay with me. Infamy to infinity. Treat all future fluctuations as +0 notoriety, but when offered a choice between affecting notoriety or some other penalty, you must choose the other. Imperialist retaliation. For the rest of the game, determine your action points using the 2 black dice's differential, not the 3 white dice. Each placement phase, ignoring the white dice during lull turns. So if I get up to here, again, this die will be in play, and when I roll, instead of determining how many action points I get between the difference between 2 of the white dice, I have to take the difference between the 2 black dice. Again, it's not a great place to be. I wouldn't recommend. The other rule that you have to worry about with piracy, so this is not contingent upon me getting to the 51, is the imperialist patrols. While piracy is Captain Nemo's motive, collectively treat the presence of 1 or more hidden ship tokens in the Nautilus's ocean as 1 warship token total, not each, for all dice roll modification purposes. In essence, a -1 for almost everything. So hold on one sec. Sorry about this. Again, middle of construction. All right, cool. Hey, and someone's live on my YouTube channel. I should look into it. All right. Do. Jen said, yeah, that may have been what I saw. I never buy the initial upgrades myself. Sajid, do you win more than Greg? Maybe better strategy. Jen said, well, I think I only have a single loss on my belt. Not sure, though. It's been a while and did not register my plays in BGG stats then. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, Sajid. It's not like you kind of always win this game, right? It's just you don't, it's just a score. Like, I mean, I don't know. Are you winning? Are we winning? I mean, let's go to the between voyages, right? Are you getting what's a win? Are we considering inconsequential to win? Probably not. So are we like a notable success or triumph? I mean, I think getting to notable is if you survive, you're probably going to get a notable win. There is a way I think you can play. It's safe to pretty much survive more often than not. I tend to try to push the envelope because I'm trying to get to triumph, which is again that's a very high score. I mean, 320 plus in this game is pretty bananas. Sajid says, by the way, I have never lost this game. Then again, I've never played it either. Dude, that's an excellent record, man. I wouldn't mess with that. Perfection is hard to beat. All right, let's make this happen. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not. All right, we're good. I'm about to sneeze, which is a whole other thing. But all right, we'll push through. So, Act 1, prologue. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did read that. Cool. The facts relating to this apparition entered in various logbooks agreed in most respects as to the shape of the object or creature its question, the untiring rapidity of its movements, its surprising power of locomotion, and the peculiar life with which it seemed endowed. If it was a whale, it surpassed in size all those hitherto classified in science. Roll a die and place the Nautilus in the corresponding major ocean. The Nautilus is in the Indian Ocean, and that's where it belongs. Commence play with the next card. Roll only 2 dice, 2 white dice to begin each placement phase. Excellent. the first card. Again, we have 6 cards before we get to the first intermission or the second act. This is one of those really weird cards. Oleomargarine. This is a good start, guys. Napoleon III offered a prize for a butter substitute, but it proved unpopular and was thus fobbed off on their navy, a prize from a French ship. Cookie served it with trepidation and awaited the crew's reaction. Roll a die and assess the crew's reaction by counting that many spaces down from the first space on the crew resource track. And for some reason, you actually want a low number. It's like a very weird the way this is written, but this is like one of the few cards where you actually want a low number. So I'm going to start using this before I forget. I rolled a 3. So count down. So 1, 2, 3. This, I don't even know if this counts. Again, this is really poorly written. Count down from the first base to the cruiser. So I don't think this is 1. I think you literally count 1, 2, 3, or is that 1, 1, 2, 3? I don't know. There's no freaking instructions on this card. Sorry. If the count is greater than a crew resource, lose 1 crew. If the count is less than a crew resource, gain 1 crew. If the count is equal to the crew resource, no effect. So that actually is a huge difference. Is the count greater than a... Roll a die and assess countdown from the first base. I'm assuming that countdown from the first base means 1, 2, 3, as opposed to 1, 2, 3. So I'm assuming that the count is greater than the crew resource, and that means I lose a crew, which is just really bananas for no reason. Like, it's just a... I have thoughts. The count is greater than a crew resource. I lose a crew, and that's it. So now I have the only thing that's going to give me +3 to a dice roll modification is my Nemo, which is fantastic. It makes me super happy. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. Actually, I should be rolling that in there. Sorry, I get the 2 actions. And now we're going to put a ship in the Western Pacific because of the 1, and we're going to put a ship in the North Atlantic because of the 3. With my 3 actions, I am going to try to make a space to start being able to do some things. Remember, there is a warship here. It is hidden, so that means that is a -1 to all my rolls. That's not great. So I'm going to try to kill that ship to start the game. Why not? Let's go crazy, kids. So I'm taking out a random ship from this bag. Again, 30 of them are white, which would be super nice. 14 are going to be yellow. And then we do have 3 Deadly Seas tokens. It gives me a crew. What a pull. All right, it's my lucky day, kids. So I'm going to do a stalk action. So that was one of my 3 actions. And here's the stalk thing. So I got +1. There are no more hidden ships, so I don't have to worry about a -1 modifier. And I got +1 to my non-torpedo attacks. So effectively, I'm coming in, I'm going to use Nemo. So I'm at 3 + 1, so I'm at +4, +5. So I need a 3. Technically, I only need a 2. But again, you can't turn a 2 is always a loss no matter what. So anything but a 2, I'm going to win this battle. And I get the 1, I got the 1-1, but I did roll a 3 with it, so we're good. So I've defeated the Jumna. It is a slaver ship. I'm going to put this in the Indian Ocean. Now, it's usually worth 0 points, but with the piracy motivation, which I haven't talked about the scoring, it's worth +3. So again, warships sunk are -1 each. Non-warship sunk are +3 each. Adventure cards are -1 each, so they're not that great. But again, they're only adventure cards, the ones that have the symbol. Treasure are +1 each. Liberation cubes are ×3, so you'd have many you have on the board ×3. So essentially, they're worth 3 each that can be modified by things. Signs discovered, so you take the number of signs you have, multiply by that by 2, and wonder seen is only worth 1. So getting stuff out of the treasure bag, if they're wonders, that is a time where you might want to use this map room thing and take a notoriety to keep them back in the bag. But then you're just making the bag really rich on things you don't want. So I don't really see the point of the map room. It seems like one of the least interesting upgrades. It's really just giving you a +1 dice roll modification and 6 points. I mean, that 4 cost is a lot for what it is. I think it probably could be costed at a 2, and I would think it's worth it. The 4, it's almost like, do I really, really want it? But again, it does give me that +1 to searching right off the bat, which helps counter the fact that if there's any warships there, or any hidden ships, which I'm counting as a warship, kind of counters that. Anyway, I digress. So we put this in the Indian Ocean here, and that's going to give me 1 crew back, which is fantastic. Do do do. Jen says, good one. Sag says, good luck. I will bail. Have fun and success rolling high. Maybe I'll check towards the end if I'm back in time. Private Vendetta. Hello, Greg. Hello, chat. Hello, sir. Jen's, by the rule of making sense, you land on the thing. Private, glad you haven't given up an Nemo's War yet. I mean, I am. This is my Bon Voyage. Is some way of my saying this is my farewell to Nemo's War. For the most part, I am. I have. There are games I really like exploring, and then there are games that I love playing forever, and this is more the former. Like, I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad to have. I've had some really cool experiences with it. There were just too many things about it that drive me nuts. That this is not going to last for me, and that's just a personal thing. But like, the more I played, I'm really glad I've spent the last week, especially like exploring the motivations I haven't featured on the channel, because I do think it's really interesting, and I think there's a lot here that I would love. There's just I, I, there would be if there was a 4th edition that like tweaked some things, I would be interested. But this is the ultimate edition, so this is probably where this ends, right? Controversy right at the bat says Silver Fear. Why is hidden ship considered a warship? Because of the piracy motivation. Yeah, so it's I forget why they did it. It represents something. It's not, of course, it's not here because why would it be? But it represents like the naval fleet out looking out for the pirates. I don't know, or like every time you see a ship, like you have to worry about getting caught as a pirate. I don't know. There was some thematic reason for it, but yeah, all hidden ships are -1 for the like. So not it's not -1 each. It's not collect. It's just collectively. So 1 or more hidden ships equals -1, as if it was a warship. Equals as if it was a warship, and again, in that case, a warship is pretty much -1 for everything. So it's it could definitely have a pretty strong impact on your game. All right, let's get some treasures, shall we? So I'm going to spend a second action. I'm going to exert a crew. So I'm +3, +4 because of the map room. So I'm +4 on a search action, and we are going to search in the Indian Ocean because it has a treasure token. And I rolled a 6 and a 4. I promise it's a 4. So that was a 14. A 14 is a very successful search, and I'm going to get 2 treasure tokens, and I'll put them in the collectible treasures. So one of the things with the piracy motive is that you're going to want to start having some of these fill up so it doesn't get right. You want places where you can do things without the -1, right? So that's one thing. But the other thing too is you want to have ships start populating, because then you won't have any revealed ships. And if you can populate with all white ships, it could be really helpful. Again, I had the option to take a notoriety and grab another thing. No, I'm going to keep the plus. It's a gem. It's worth 2. It's actually worth 3 because of piracy. And this is a gem, a treasure. It's worth 4. It's actually worth 5 points because of piracy. So you're going to want to start filling some of these things with actual revealed ships, because then you can ignore the hidden ship rule that they all equal -1, which again isn't exactly great. I will want to take down a couple of warships, because I am going to want to start upgrading to some of these things, especially to help with my notoriety and whatnot. Speaking of notoriety, the Jumna has no notoriety symbol on it, so my notoriety stays at a 0, which means I probably don't want to do any kind of insight action anytime soon. Until my notoriety gets up, because I want to make sure those are actually working to reduce my notoriety when I'm successful. All right, doing a hull action at some point to get this up is probably a good idea and something I will strongly consider. So we go to the next. I'm going to save this one action. Maybe you can save one action in between your turns, which can be important in case you bump into a lull turn. And we get this. As Master Wishes in Conceal, I had a seasoned specialist in biological classification, an enthusiast who could run with acrobatic agility up and down the whole ladder of branches. Groups, classes, subclasses, orders, families, genera, subgenera, species, and varieties. If Consul is still in play, he is During any future action phase, you can spend up to 3 actions to collect 1 treasure for each action spent. Afterward, or if when council is not in play, fail at game's end passive unused. This is something it's good to get early because we'll have the actions that we want to spend on something like that. I'm rolling 2 dice. I rolled a 6 and a 4, so 2 more actions. So we get a hidden ship in the Indian Ocean, and we get a hidden ship in the South Atlantic. I'll, I I'm tempted to spend 3 actions to just get 3 treasures, but I think again, it will make some sense to kind of keep the Indian Ocean clear for me. So, especially since I have this strength and prow, we'll see. So, I'm going to spend 1 action to, again, normally it's not a very efficient thing to be attacking hidden ships. I'm doing it because it's going to help give me a location where I can get some other things done and start maybe giving me some warships that I can maybe consider. Wolf Adventurers League needs 3. I mean, the War Room is something I'm very interested in, but I need 4 salvage for that, so it's gonna be a lot. But remember, most of the bag, 2/3 of the bag, are white chips to start the game, which also helps. And by getting some notoriety from doing some conquering some ships, it's going to make my incite actions effective to reduce the notoriety. So there's definitely some reasons why I'm doing this right now. So I spent the action already. I have an attack of a 3, +1 because of the stalk attack, +1 because of the strength and prow. So I'm coming in at a 5. I need a 10 to win. There are no hidden ships here, so I need to roll a 5 or better. I rolled an 11, overkill. This thing goes here. Again, in the Indian Ocean. Again, that's +3 points for each of those at the end of the game, and that's going to give me 2 notoriety. I really love the thing where it's like stalk attacks at -1 notoriety each. That can be super, super huge with the piracy motive. So it's a little unfortunate that's not there. Remember, there are 30 white ships. Ideally, I kill all 30 of them, and I mean, even better if I can do 5 in each ocean, because then we get up to Menace. Getting up to Scourge can be really hard. That's a lot of taking damage as you go from the various warships that are going to be attacking you. I think it's going to make some sense. Again, I want this to populate more. I have this. Let's get some more treasure. So I'm going to fail this. Nope. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to fail this, spend my last 2 actions to just get 2 more treasures. I mean, it's like I just got 2 search actions, right? I mean, it's pretty, two guaranteed search actions, which is pretty good. So we get retain. I can discard this to gain 1 Nemo, or keep for 4 points, which would be 5 points into the game. And this is, I discard it and draw 2 treasure tokens. Again, I have an uncanny habit of getting trolled by this bag. Excellent. We get a 4 and a 3. Again, if I can hold on to maximum number of treasures, that can be big points by the end of this game. So that was super useful. I basically turned 2 actions into, either a Nemo and 9 points, or stuff that's going to help my refit actions later, or I turned it into, up to like 14 points. It's a pretty effective use of those actions for sure. All right, we're going to the next round. I do have no actions left, however, and I could have done that up to 3 times, but obviously I did want to, again, keep the Indian Ocean clear. And now we'll go next. So Davy Jones' locker, recovering from battle. The crew released around... Yeah, I did that. The crew relaxed around Captain Nemo and referenced Davy Jones' locker. Angered at such superstitious nonsense, Nemo ordered the Nautilus to make increasing depth and speed until all feared the outcome of this rash response to mere sailors' banter. Fail and immediately conduct a search action. You must exert hull only. Instead of gaining treasure tokens from Davy Jones' locker, for each one earned, you instead draw the next card from the adventure deck and resolve it. And I must exert hull. So it's not it's not saying, hey, you might exert hull. I'm definitely having to exert hull. I very much want to get at least a 6. Otherwise, I'm going to have to figure out if I'm going to accept the loss of the hull, because my hull is already pretty bad. So I'm exerting that, gives me +1. this can come back. So I'm a +1 because I drew the hull. Give me a 6 or more, please. I got an 8. Excellent. So 8 plus 1 gives me a 9. 9 on the search chart is a success. I collect 1 treasure, but again, instead of collecting a treasure, I take the top card of the adventure deck. And if I resolve this, I will also be able to get the gem that started atop of the deck at the beginning of the game. So the first officer, excellent. I can fail and immediately gain 2 random repairs. So Mr. Rojas was a formidable Spanish Indian woman. Her surpassing Mr. Rojas was a okay. Her surpassing height and strength was comparable to Ned's. Her eyes saw everything, yielded nothing, and her voice was a hoarse whisper when she spoke and a boom when shouting commands. If I fail this, I can gain 2 random repairs, so I'd roll as if I was rolling for hits, but I would take the repairs instead. At game's end, I pass if the first officer is not sacrificed. So getting the 2 random repairs could indeed be very helpful. Again, normally you're trying to hold cards and get the things. This is only worth 1 point for me at the end of the game. So like I'm gonna definitely get those random repairs, and I might just do it right away. Um, to be honest, because I want to see where I'm at with hull. I don't love the fact that my hull is only 4 away from utter death. I'm rolling for placement now. Again, 3rd placement phase. I rolled a 2 and a 4, so I've got 2 actions every turn, so that's been very nice. I'm gonna put a thing on 2 and a thing on the South Atlantic. I'm going to fail this and get 2 random repairs. There's no reason not to. So my first random repair is Nemo. Don't roll another 1. I really want a 4, 5, or 6. A 1. Oh, Nemo was not what I was worried about. I rolled 2 1s because I roll so good. Shoot. I'm tempted to spend these 2 actions on hull. I really can't afford my hull to go to crap. Oh, and then I get a treasure because that was on top of the adventure deck. And I believe I still get it. Nothing says I don't. Oh, nice. I'm getting very good treasures early. I can discard this to gain a reroll, or I keep it for 4 points. Again, lots of points gathering here. If I could hold on to some of those, that'd be great. Obviously, there's reasons to spend them. Like now, I'm very tempted to spend 2 actions to get a repair. There's nothing else obvious I want to do. I could do an incite. My notoriety is at 2. There's no ships there. How did I roll? My Nemo being this only being a +2 instead of a +3 isn't great. I really wish I did not roll 2 1s. I also have the chief engineer. I can get Nemo. Like I have so many ways to get Nemo. And Nemo's the one I just kind of want there or there. I did not want Nemo. I mean, even the crew would have been better. Yeah, that was a really crappy 2 random repairs. Damn it, first officer. Why? All right. I will do an incite action. So I think this. So I'm +3. I'm rolling 2 dice for incite. I rolled a 9. Big rolls early. Super nice. That gives me a 12. That's going to be 1 cube and -2 notoriety. Notoriety goes back to 0, and I will retain that last action. But again, repair is very much on my mind. That is not a lot of wiggle room on hull, because every time I take a damage, again, half the time it's going to go to my hull. Next card. Ooh, family matters. When a crew member expected a baby, they left our company for remote lands to forge a new life. Family emergencies resulted in dispassionate dismissals. The purser arranged a just severance, and without ill will, we parted and sailed on. Fail, and immediately sacrifice 1 character tile without receiving any benefit for doing so, or lose 1 crew. Well, that isn't great. So, I remember I was also +1 to all incite actions. That is something I forgot. I got a 12 anyway, so that would have been fine. I'm going to sacrifice Ned Land. That's going to give me 1 notoriety. I definitely can't afford to lose the crew because that's my only source of a +3. I'm rolling 2 dice replacement. I rolled a 3 and a 5, 2 actions again. I dig. So up to 3. The 3 is going to be placed here. So we're getting close to being able to start revealing some shifts, which is definitely what I want to do. We'll put that there. And I think I am going to spend 2 actions and do a repair. Because My poor ship. My poor ship is in bad shape, kids. I have a 2. So the thing interesting about repair is if I get a 7 or an 8, I gain a hull but I lose a treasure, or I could spend a treasure to increase my chances of success. But a 9 through 11, I just get 1 hull. The only reason spending a treasure might make sense is if it somehow gets me above a 12, then I can get 2 hull instead. Worst case though, if I spend a treasure and then I lose another treasure, that'd be super bad. So I'm just gonna do 2 actions, do a repair. I'm exerting that for +3. So +3 on a repair action. I rolled a 7, +3 gives me a 10. So had I spent that treasure, I would have gotten 2 hulls. So that is a case where that probably is something I should have done, but I didn't. So I'm just going to get 1 hull instead. And let's get back to seaworthy. All right, because we have these different things here. So it's seaworthy, listing, listing, listing. Oh, defeated. Fighting trim would be the next stage. And there are points to get at the end of the game here. None of these points are worth much for me with my motivations. But again, just didn't love that this was already 4 away from certain death. All right, we're getting our next card. Remember, there are 6 cards before we get to Act 2. We've gone through 4 of them, then we got another one from that. So this is our 5th turn of the game. Ooh, big one. Definitely want to win this. Troubled Dreams. I tried to keep my eyes open, but they closed in spite of me. I was in the grip of anguished hallucinations. I'm testing Nemo. I only get a +2 for that. Fortunately, again, no hidden ships, so no negative modifier. I need a 6 or better. I rolled an 8. Big rolls early. I get to keep this card. I could pass to change any one die's result, regardless of its color, why it was rolled, or how many other dice were rolled with it, to any other result that I choose. That could be very, very helpful. I will try to save this for as much of this game as I can, but knowing me, I will spend it recklessly too early. And, that's my own fault for making bad decisions. All right, we're going to. I'm predicting my bad decisions in the future way ahead of time. So, rolling 2 dice for placement. I rolled a 5 and a 3. Good rolls, baby. All right, we're going to get a thing and a 2. And then I go to place a ship in a 5. Oh, hidden ships can't go in the 5. What's the next step of ship placement priority? We're going to put 1 ship down here in the Indian Ocean. All right, 4 actions because I saved 1. I just got 3 more. I'm going to spend 1 action to do a stalk attack here. If I could fill up Indian Ocean to menace, and then we can consider moving somewhere. It's probably not the worst idea. So again, 28 white ships left in this bag, 14 yellow, and then we have the 3 deadly seas, and we got another one of these white ships. I am doing an attack. Remember, I have a +3, +4, +5. I need a 4 because I have to overcome a 9. I rolled a 9, again, wasting a lot of big rolls here. That gives me another notoriety, and we're going to put this dude over here. Maybe it's time. Is it time to leave our current waterway? Maybe. Trying to think what's about to start filling. I kind of just like being here too. It's a nice spot. Gives me warm and fuzzies. The problem is 5 is never going to start filling up with actual revealed ships until this does, but 3's in a good spot, like to start filling up with ships. Because once the Arctic Ocean's filled, once I start rolling 3's, we can start revealing ships in the North Atlantic, and I very much want that to happen sooner rather than later. I'm tempted to, I'm considering another repair action, which is pretty aggressive. I could even a rest action might make some sense. But a rest action, I have to exert. I cannot exert crew to try to get a rest action. I remember, I'm not. I don't have a +3 other than crew. So, the nice thing about killing all the non-warships is that you do have things that get the +1 for crew, +1 for Nemo. There's a number of things that could really help. Getting to a place where I could search might make some sense. It would be a -1 to search in the Western Pacific. Western Pacific is also not inclined to start filling up anytime soon, so there is that. Move, search. Man, I have access to 700 billion Nemo. I counted. It's 700 billion, I promise. I could just do another incite action while I'm here and nothing else is happening. I am +1 to all incite. Sure, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to spend the 3 for crew, spending another action, and we're doing an incite action here. So I'm +3, +4, but -1 because there's already a cube there. I rolled a 3. So that's bad. That's a 7, but -1 becomes a 6. Woof. That would lose me a crew. Yeah, I think I lose the crew and then I rest. Yeah, +3, 6, 7, 6. So I lose. It's a failed incite action. No effect, but I do lose this resource and +1 to notoriety. So that went the opposite direction of good. And now I need to get my crew back. So I'm going to spend 2 actions. I'm going to discard the 2. And I'm going to use Nemo. So I'm at +2, +4. No warships present, so I'm at +4 going in. Don't roll another 3, please. I rolled a 4. So I'm at +4. That's 8. I gain a crew, but I lose. But I also gain a notoriety. So I got a crew back, but my notoriety is going in very much in the wrong direction. I tried to do an aside action. Instead, I ended up spending 3 actions to effectively get +2 notoriety, which is not the thing of dreams. No dice roll modifications. That's a plus. That's too strong. The +3 DRM. So, and I had to sacrifice Ned Land because I had to sacrifice the character resource because of the family matter. So, not a good round for sure. Last card before the first thing, we have Jaws Wide Open. I can gain another Nemo, guys. Isn't that fantastic? I don't mind failing this because if I fail, I just lose a Nemo. So and I have to spend Nemo to try to I have to exert Nemo if I want to try to pass this test. I can't exert anything else. Again, that symbol tells me it's only Nemo. So I'm just gonna roll. I need an 8. I rolled a 6. I fail. I lose a Nemo. I'm more than happy about that. Get that back to a +3 scenario, and this will go into the failure. So I have 0 cards in the pass pile, which is amazing. All right, we're gonna do our placement. I rolled a 6 and a 5, so only 1 action. The 5 is filled up, so it adds to the 6. The 6 gets a thing here. That's bad on several accounts. I will think I store that 1 action and chill. Not worth taking out these 2 ships. I want ships to start revealing. It is what it is. All right, so I'm going to hold on to that 1 action, and we go to the next round. Oh, act surprise, we go to Act 2. I was admiring the magnificent aspect of the ocean when Captain Nemo appeared. He did not seem to be aware of my presence and began a series of astronomical observations. Then, when he had finished, he went and leant on the cage of the watchlight and gazed abstractedly on the ocean. Add the dark yellow to the bag. So 1 more Deadly Seas, now 4 more warships, which isn't great. This goes away. We're adding a black die to our placement rolls. If we have a lull turn, we do not play ships with a black die. We only place with the white, but we haven't had a lull turn yet, and I don't know if we're going to have one anytime soon. All right. Man, I am feeling good that I did that treasure for the rest action to get that crew back up, but woof. All right. The Torres Straits. The Torres Straits are nearly 34 leagues wide, but they are obstructed by an innumerable quantity of islands, islets, breakers, and rocks. The Nautilus, floating betwixt wind and water, went at a moderate pace. Her screw, like a Cartesian's tail, I don't know, beat the waves slowly. Immediately after moving between the Indian Ocean and the Western Pacific, either way, you may perform this test for +1 notoriety. If I pass, I get 2 action points, but I can only exert hull. which is rough because it's going to be a 1. And then if I'm performing that test here or here, it's -1. So I basically have no bonus, and I need to roll a 7 plus. So here's the thanks for explaining. Copeland says, Nemo, I pulled this out the other day and put it back in the face of relearning the rules. Love the game, but it'll probably be summer before I get it out again. Good luck. Thank you, Copeland. Good to see you, sir. All right. Copeland, who I used to call Woodland because I was combining both his first and last names. And yeah, I'm good like that. So rolling 3 dice for the placement. All right. 2 things there. We are going to place, we have 2 1s, so 2 actions is the things there is what I, tough words. I'm going to use this one to place a ship here. I'm going to use this one to place a hidden ship here. And now we get to actually start revealing ships with this 3. So I'm going to reveal a ship somewhere. If it's a warship, I will probably put it in the Pacific coast of the Arctic Ocean. It is a non-warship. We'll start filling up the North Atlantic with revealed non-warships. I think that will make a lot of sense. So this comes off, and now I have 3 actions total. Yeah, I'm just not ready to do that, not with the hull being there. I'm gonna move 1, and now I'm gonna do an incite action and hopefully have better rolls than I did last round. So I'm at +3, +4. Again, there's no warships in the Cape of Good Hope. That gives me a 9 because it's +3, +4, +6. It gives me a 10. Advanced math. We're going to put this thing here and get one of those notoriety gains back to there. I'm going to save that last action for the next round. All right, next round coming. We have the Skiff Spiel. I did not say that right. Do not quote me on that. Not even if you could, you probably wouldn't succeed. But yeah, that's not a word. All right, the top soldier aboard the Nautilus was Marine Lieutenant Carl Kuhn. This well-studied Pomeranian had a fascination for a naval war game. Schiffskriegspiel. Spiel means game. I know that. Schiffskriegspiel. All right. Kriegspiel, I'm sure about. The first word, not so much. Or first syllable, not so much. He had a Prussian officer's love of drill that occasionally swept up all on board, and he personally led every landing party that Captain Nemo did not. Test. I need to get. I have again no warships here. It's one of the reasons I went there. Wanted to make sure that my adventure test rolls were, as pure as they could be. And I'm going to get +3 for the crew because I can only exert crew. I need a 5 to succeed, and that's actually a fairly strong ability. I rolled a 3, which would mean I lose a hull, and I lose the crew that I just exerted. I could re-roll, which makes sense. I like re-rolling when I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna get it, right? Like I just need a 5. I mean, there's also the argument to do the dice roll modification of a +3, but I'll hold on to that. So we're gonna do a re-roll here. I told you I was rolling too good early. That doesn't count. I don't even know what it is. I need a 5. There we go. Overkill. But I really want this card because now in the future I could pass it. I get +1 crew DRM for an entire turn, right? So if I have 5 actions, I'm doing a bunch of battles. Like my crew now becomes a +4. That could be a really nice ability. I think that was a worthwhile use of Conceal. I miss him already though, and he has a special place in my heart forever. All right, rolling these 3 dice. I would like lots of 3s. I got 1 3. So I rolled a 1 and a 5 for the action differential, which is great. And now we're going to go ahead and do the rest of this. So the 5 I'm going to use to put a 3rd ship on the Indian Ocean, 3rd hidden ship. To clarify, the 1 is going to put a hidden ship over here in the Central Pacific. And now the 3 is going to reveal a ship somewhere. I would like another white ship, although I have pulled nothing but white ships so far. Eventually that has got to stop. I have a billion actions, don't I? Woof. I just don't have a lot to use them on. I might actually do 2 actions again to get my hull up because I don't like it. I want to tire. We have our first warship. And again, warships are -1 point, so they're not great. I'll put this over here in the Pacific coast. At some point, I'm going to want to take out some warships, though, again, because it's going to give me the chance to get some salvage, and then I can get some of whatever. Now, remember, there are 13 more yellow ships in here, plus the 4 dark yellow, so we have 17 ships. And when you reveal a ship, you can go in that ocean or an adjacent. I'm really trying to get 4 white ships there lined up, and then that might be a good place to try to even do a some bold attacks. I mean, getting the periscope device could be useful indeed. I like having the warships in a place where there's no hidden ships because you don't have the -1 crap going on. It's a really easy way to start taking some damage, which we don't love. I mean, some people might love the damage. I do not. I'm in no man's land. Woof. That's pointless. It's a lot of movement. I don't want to mess up anything adjacent to 3 because I'm trying to let that fill up. I could start attacking some hidden ships in the Western Pacific. But the idea of clearing that off is going to take a while. I could do the South Pacific. That's just easy. But it's just going to be a lot of actions to get there. Or I just spent 2 actions to get my hull back up where I want it to be, because I'm going to start taking damage when I start messing with these dudes. I've only searched once. It's probably a mistake, although I did get a good number of treasures already. I'm definitely not doing this test. I don't see the point, and the extra 2 actions now are not going to be super important for me. All right, I'm going to move. It's a lot of wasted actions here. 2 is move. 3 is move. And then 4, I'm doing a stalk attack here. So just a pretty big movement turn. Like the board's not in the state I want it to be yet. As far as doing attacks again, I want that to load up with white ships, and then I can have a more direction and start being a bit more aggressive. So, oh, it's a yellow ship. All right, it is the Giuseppe Garibaldi. It's a frigate with an Italian flag. It is attacking me. Now, when it attacks me, it only hits on a 6. Again, if there were unrevealed ships there, it would hit on a 5 or less. Now it hit a 6. I'm good. If there are unrevealed ships, then it would hit a 6 on a 6 or less, because the unrevealed ships count as a warship, which means dice roll modification of -1 on their attacks. Bam! I rolled a 4 because I roll really good. So it does 1 damage to me. So random damage. I rolled a 1, so I lose a Nemo. Of course I do. It's fine. I'm fine with Nemo. As long as I got the random repairs of Nemo, I'm fine. It makes sense. Now I'm going to attack it. I hit it on I need a 9. Remember, I'm going to exert crew, so +3, +4, +5. So I just need a 4. I rolled a 4 and a 2, show off, and I'm going to take this and put this over here in salvage. That's my round. We're going to go to the next event. A family reunion. The captain listened intently to Nadine's story. And there's no notoriety increase from that dude. His few interruptions were very pointed questions, and many of these were about his mother. Clearly moved, how would Nemo judge this young man? So I hate this card because the most it gives me is 1 characteristic. these family reunion cards give you 1 to 3 characteristics if you pass, or if you fail 0 to 2. So the fact that I got the one that only gives me 1, some of those tokens are very, very nice. And sometimes though you get 3 and they're not as useful as you want, especially the point scorers, which don't do much for the piracy motivation, at least not the points that he can possibly give you. So I can't exert anything for this test. I need a 6 or higher. I rolled a 10, so I get my first thing in my pass. I get Nadine Dacker. Now, if he dies, if I have no other character resources and something makes me lose a character resource and I have to kill him, I lose. So don't let that happen. And now I'm going to roll a d10 to get one of those tokens at random. I rolled a 5, so this is going to be this one. It's the impest, impet, impetuosity. Man, reading is hard. Of youth. I can discard this for 1 free adventure action at some point. So most excellent. So Nadine is here. Now we have to do our placement roll. So we're getting the 2 white dice and a black die. Ooh, lull turn, whether we like it or not, kids. So what happens on a lull turn? We're going to add a treasure to the Indian Ocean. We're going to add a treasure on top of the deck. I would need to roll, but again, I can't possibly roll lower than a 1 in the Indian Ocean or the Cape of Good Hope, so that's not a thing I need to worry about. And now I have to place, I don't place for the 2, I only place for the 2 6s. I'm going to add a ship to the Cape of Good Hope, and now we're going to actually reveal a ship in the European seas, the Indian Ocean, or the Western Pacific, or the Cape of Good Hope. So what am I revealing? I'm hoping for a white ship somewhere. I think I try to get another line of white here. So if I can make 8 white ships there, that would be super good. Or at least 3 white ships, and then I could reveal a ship and there wouldn't be any unrevealed ships or stuff like that. So it's like I like the piracy, how it gives you like this puzzle within a puzzle. As much as I don't like the -1 from the hidden ships, which I just find I find something. All right, I think I will take advantage. So now we're in a lull turn. So in a lull turn, things that normally cost 2, like rest, refit, repair, now only cost 1. I could also do an adventure action, but there's only 1 gem on top of that, and I don't think piracy is a good motive to like be like, spamming the adventure deck. I think I do another repair. That makes the most sense to me. So I'm spending this 1 action. I'm going to be +3. I'm going to repair. Losing a treasure would be super sad, but hopefully I roll higher than a 7. I rolled an 8. I'm at 11. I gain 1 hull. Again, had I spent the 3 treasure, I would gain 2 hull, but I like the fact that at least my hull is going in the right direction, because it was looking scary. I don't have enough salvage to try to do a refit. I am close. I don't want the prize crew quarters anyway, but I wouldn't mind the periscope device, the Adventurers League. The War Room is probably the one I'm the most interested in, because I think the ability to turn a 1 into a 2 on all attack or insight actions can actually be surprisingly useful. So, next card. Ned Lander's Temper. It's a test of a 10. Before I can make a single movement to prevent him, the Canadian rushed at the poor man, threw him down, held him by the throat. The steward was choking in the grip of those powerful hands. Well, that seems violent. So I can exert Nemo for +3 and crew for +3. There's no hidden ships. So a 4 or higher, please. Don't show off. I got a 4 and a 1. So these go back, and now I have Ned Lander's Temper. I own his temper. It's making it mine. So I get to keep this card before any future test. Now, before the test, not after, I can discard this and get a +3 dice roll modification. So I can just pass it, and then I get +3 for the roll that is to come. Most dice roll modifications are after the fact. That one is indeed before. But I have a +3 after over here, a +3 before over here, with some of the tougher ships later that can indeed come in handy. We're doing a placement roll. I got 2 actions from that. A 1, a 3, and a 5. So we're going to have to reveal 2 ships because of the 3 and the 5. So let's decide how we want to assign these things. Is it a white ship? It is. I will put this here with the 3. Getting another ship. Be good. I'll probably put a ship in the South Pacific and give me something else to do. Oh, this is a warship. I don't love that. I might as well try to take him out here. Oh, there's no ship revealed there, so that was an interesting thought, Greg, but it's factually inaccurate. You can't do that. So sure, that was dumb. I should have put this in the 5, and then I could use the 3 to put this there. I don't like this ship. All right, we're gonna put it. Well, 1 has to place a ship because it has places to go. I'll put it in the 5, and hopefully I get no more warships there because that would be super bad. Did I roll a 6? That was a 5. Did that move? I thought that was a 5. Was I make that up? I'm pretty sure it was a 5. I think it just flipped over when I moved the dice over. Someone could tell me if it's supposed to be a 6. But either way, I could have put something. Oh, if it was a 6, because 6 would also have to place a ship. Someone's gonna tell me if that was a 5 or a 6. Which actually, speaking of odds, I'll just save the trouble and I'll just put it here anyway, which is probably smarter because I already have some ships in the Indian Ocean. I could deal with the Indian Ocean late. I'm not going to be there for a while, so I'm not sure if that was a 5 or a 6. Either way, I'll put that there, and then I'll use the 1 to put. I'm pretty sure I flipped when I moved them over, but I think that's probably still a better thing. But now in a lull turn, I will have to roll a 2 or higher if there's no more revealed ships added there, so there's something to be aware of. Alrighty then, so I only have 2 actions. I'm going to spend 1. We're doing a stock action in the South Pacific. I'm going to have to move over to the North Atlantic at some point. All right, we get another merchant ship. I'm doing a stock action. I'm +3, oh, I could do a insight action here too. +3, +4, +5 because of strength and prowess. So I need a 4. I rolled a 9. This is dead. 1 notoriety. And I will put this in the Western Pacific. Again, that's the major ocean that is connected to. And I will hold on to my last action. Looking at the chat. So if here's this 5 was correct. It flipped when you moved. Yeah, thank you. I was like, I thought I saw a 5. I thought I saw a putty cat. Act 3, kids. Oh yeah. Right, I forgot we were going to Act 3. I should have known that because, again, there's only 4 in the second act. So I actually am going to use this last action because we're rolling 3 white dice, so there's a chance I'll roll the differential of a 5 is not that uncommon with 3 white dice. And I'm going to do an insight action on +3, +4, plus placement. It gets a lot more crowded, and I really want to do this while there's nothing there. So I'm +4 for an insight action because, again, all insight actions are +1. I rolled a 5, +4 is a 9, so barely getting by with these insight actions. And that will go there. So -1 notoriety, and then another cube down in the South Pacific. Now we go to Act 3. A couple things are going to happen. We are going to have story time with Greg. The Nautilus went at a frightful pace, 40 miles an hour. It literally tore through the water. Where was Captain? I don't think that's literally. Where was Captain Nemo? Had he succumbed? Were his companions dead with him? So I'm not changing motive because I think that's silly. I'm adding the orange ships to the bag, so we have 4 more warships now to contend with. And I can select a Nautilus upgrade to add to the upgrades possibilities from anything that was set aside at the beginning of the game, which is everything. Storm torpedoes are interesting. Passing in a sight action. Monstrous design is very interesting. Everything else is just way too expensive. Arcane Library is interesting. I could take the Nemo Prison Binoculars. Once for action phase, when you reveal a hidden ship token, I can redraw it, returning the first ship token to the cup afterwards. I kind of like that. Since Galileo, scientists have tried fitting together 2 telescopes for binocular vision. Captain Nemo have found a power prism to fashion them. Yeah, we'll take that because I just don't know how much salvage I'm going to get, and I want the war room, I want the periscope device, I wouldn't mind the Adventurers League, so salvage is going to be hard to come by in this motivation. All right, now I'm rolling 3 white dice and a black die because we are in act. Nope, I'm not doing anything. I pull an event. Now I'm lying. So remember, there are 13 adventure cards, normal plus the red card plus the unwanted reflection. So there's 15 rounds in Act 3. Guaranteed. Nemo's Telegraph. When one of Nemo's agents wish to communicate an arrangement of lanterns in a 1-3-1 north pattern similar to the 5 pips on the die, beckoned during the nights and a landing party would parlay. Fail and draw a number of treasures equal to the number of my available characters plus the number of placed uprising cubes. Keep only to retain and ally tokens. The ally tokens are a world order thing. Again, it's a little weird. So that's fine. So we're gonna fail this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters, no extra characters here, and then 1, 2, 3 cubes. So I'm drawing 8 treasure tokens, and I only keep retain. 8. That's 5. 3 more. Not looking good so far. I think I pulled Squadouche because I already have a few. I only have 2 actually. Oh, there's a retain. All right, so I got 1 retain. I can X that to gain a crew. I don't mind that. So all in all, a lot of work to get a thing that gives me a crew, but I will absolutely take the crew. Now I do the placement roll. Ooh. Well, now we have a lull turn because I rolled 4 4s. That's a magical thing. So lull turn for the win. I add a treasure token. There's already one in this North Atlantic, so I'm going to put one adjacent to it in Cape Horn. I add 1 more to the top of the deck here, and now I add 4 ships to 4. So we're going to add 1 at the Cape Horn, so that's the first 4. The second 4 can go in a bunch of different places. I definitely want to start loading up the North Atlantic with white, and I need to get there with a quickness. Oh man, I have no actions. I have no salvage. It's not good. I can kill the chief engineer for 2 salvage. Seems a little unnecessary. For 2 actions, not salvage. All right, so this 4, I'm going to put an armored frigate in the Cape of Good Hope. Give me a white ship, please. And my last 4, I would like to put the North Atlantic as a white ship. And yes, we got a clipper. All right, well, no actions. I don't really have. I mean, there's that 1 card that gives you 1 action during 1 upgrade. Gives you 1 card during 1 action during a lull turn. I don't think it's going to make sense for me to do much right now. But this is set up. This could be a nice little bold attack. Just kind of go through all 4 of these. That makes a lot more sense though if I can get the periscope device. Yeah. Let's see. Back in a bit. Good luck, J Bear. Oh man, hitting the 1 in 36 of a lull turn in Act 3 is always a killer. It ain't great. But thanks for the math. All right, the whales. Test 9. I can exert this and this on +4. I need, it gives me a crew and 2 treasures or a crew. Do I take the 2 treasures? Yeah, I'll probably take the 2 treasures. Why not? So whales, baby. Some beautiful, beautiful whales who we're in the ocean. They're coming up to our ship. They love us. Yeah, the art in this game is something that I think I underrate. I just forget to look at it once in a while. It's super cool. Trying to crush an Nautilus with their sheer mass. Through the windows, you could see their enormous mouths paved with teeth, their fearsome eyes. Some pretty aggressive whales. Please give me a 5. There we go. We got an 8. This comes back. This comes back. And I will pass this and get 2 treasures. I'm not that excited about taking crew. Treasures are more flexible for me and worth almost as many points until I pull the +7 notoriety. Ooh, X. So it's 5 points, 6 points, or I can turn it into 2 salvage. Ooh. I'm probably turning that into 2 salvage at some point. That's super nice. All right, placement. Please don't give me 3 4s again. There we go. 4 actions is much more like it. Now I could choose a lull turn with the 2 6s. That'd be silly. So 2 6s, 2 2s. It's a 2-2. All right, we're gonna put the 1 2 here, the other 2 here, and then we have 2 6s to place. So I could put them in the Indian Ocean, the Western Pacific, or up there in the European seas. It's a white. I mean, at some point, I need to start making some noise in the Western Pacific. This might be a good time for it too. All right, we're gonna do the Western Pacific with this 6. Yeah, I don't want the Indian Ocean to become like super bad with warships, but it might be the reality. And we have another warship, which I'll put in 5. Trying to not get 2 warships in one place if I can help it. Yeah, do I start? Yeah, I should have probably put the Mary Celeste in 5. I was thinking if I got 2 non-warships, I could just clear out the Western Pacific. It's a good place to put, insight cubes. There's a lot of noise happening above my head. I'm going to spend 1 action and move here. I'm going to spend another action to do a stalk attack on one of the ships in the Central Pacific and hope it's not a warship. Because remember, this hidden ship is already considered a warship. Not a warship, it's a whaler ship. So I'm doing a stalk attack. So I have an attack of a 3, 4, 5. I only need an 8, but remember it's -1 because of the hidden ship. So I need a 4 or better. On my roll, I rolled a 5 and don't show off. We get 1 notoriety. This is going to go, I'll put this in the Eastern Pacific because I can do either one of those, and then I'm going to take a treasure. Going to try to get 5 in everything, so trying to keep it a little bit balanced as we go. I take the treasure token. It's just a 1er. Do I do another stalk attack here? It's not crazy. I can move, get the Royal Sovereign. I think the Periscope device is going to make a lot of sense for this. The Periscope device with a Skiff Schutzspiel could be a very strong turn just to get 4 whites for the North Atlantic. We're going to spend 1 more action. We're going against this ship. I could do an incite action here too, which actually makes me happy. Ooh, it's the Ironclad. It's a Bella Cuyus from, I believe it's from La France. All right, it's attacking with an attack of a 7. Ugh, I rolled a 6. Gotta be freaking kidding me. All right, 2 damage to me. I rolled a 6. That's on my hull. I rolled a 1. That's on my Nemo. Like, unreal. I'm going to discard this. I get a notoriety and get a Nemo. I'm just rolling lots of 1s when it comes to damage. And now I'm attacking it. I have a 3 plus 1 plus 1. So I just need a 5 to kill the Bella Cuyus. There we go. I get 1 notoriety. And do I put it in salvage? think so. I mean, getting the war room and the periscope device would be pretty sick. So, sure. Alright, I have one more action. I will use it for an incite action on +3, +4 with the second officer. That's a 6 +4 is a 10. -1 notoriety. Again, I'm really trying to not add any more warships to this bag. I want to get all 30 of these white ships out over the course of this game. That is that, my friends. So, I think I do a refit. I mean, if I keep on to those 5 points too, that's also not the worst. If I get a 4th white ship there, get the periscope device, do a bold action, wipe that out. I get over to the European seas, start, loading up that track. Once I go, I just want to go there once during the game. Like once you leave, the movement to get back is really rough. All right, next, the public opinion. Oh, that's not good. It's a bad card. All right, not as bad as others, but not great. Traders, ship owners, captains of vessels, skippers, and master mariners from Europe and America, naval officers, and from every country of the world, and at their heels, the various national governments on these 2 continents were all extremely disturbed by the business. Fail and place 1 ship token in every major ocean. For each revealed ship so placed, gain 1 notoriety. All right, so 2 is going to add a ship there. 1's going to add a ship there. Those 2 major. So the 3rd major ocean is North Atlantic. We're adding a ship using normal rules. So this is, red sky at night. I believe that counts. I think for all purposes, if you pull this, it says a red sky at night. This is a Deadly Seas token is really nice. It's +2 DRM after a roll, but that does count for Ocean 3. I don't know why it wouldn't. That's also not clear in the rules. But, rules. South Atlantic, why would rules be important? South Atlantic gets a ship. Keep dropping it. It's a white ship. I will add it to the North Atlantic. So I'm adding 2 more ships. I've revealed 1 so far. It's important to keep in mind. European seas. We're adding a ship. It's a white ship. That's perfect. And now the Indian Ocean. We're adding a ship. If it's a warship, I'm going to put it over in the Western Pacific. And now we're going to have to roll and add a bunch more ships. This is definitely going to get super crowded. And you also want to make sure that we don't start having some of these white ships flip. So you don't want to fall too far behind in starting to clear out some space. All right, now we do our placement roll. Oh, I revealed 3 ships through that process. So 1, 2, 3 notoriety. We roll those dice. It is 3 actions for me. I rolled a 2, which I'm going to put here. 4 and 5 are going to get ships. Again, I am heading to the North Atlantic. That is my first variety. So 4. I will use this for the 4. It's the Uncharted Island. So I've gotten good Deadly Seas so far. I get rid of this and I draw an adventure card. When I draw the card, I can also get the treasures. So Journey to the Center of the Earth. I may fail this card at any time during the action phase. By Fortune's money, we returned to the Nautilus, scowling as we boarded. A disheveled Ned glared at Captain Nemo and rumbled sotto voce, Lieutenant Kuhn's idea of a happy adventure. So I can start drawing cards from the top of the adventure deck for free, which I then must perform. I can do this repeatedly until I get a keep card, or before or if I just want to stop drawing. Since I resolved that, I do get the 2 treasure tokens. Treasure tokens are good. We like them. So another potential reroll and 3 points. I don't know how this game is going. It feels like it's going well. But that's the 4, and then we do a ship. Oh. I had another 2 in there, so I have to take care of that. Great. So I have a 2 and a 5 left. I forgot there was a 4th die in there. It was Harding. The 5 is going to get a white ship. And now, last but not least, we have this 2. So I just placed 9 things on the board in pretty rapid succession. That's not great. Any of those free move actions? No. Some of those treasure tokens are like 2 free move actions, which can be really, really nice. So that was the 4. So now I have this 2. With the 2, I will place it. Oh shoot! Did I forget to do a roll for lull turn? When was that lull turn? This one of them mattered. I don't know if I might have had a ship there. I think I would have had a roll at least a 2 for both of those. Or someone's gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna put this here with this other 2. It gives me a crew, and I can just wipe that out now. So that's done. In the lull turn, I think I forgot a roll. I rolled a 4. And I rolled a 6, just in case I had a roll for those 2 locations. That's like one of the mechanics in this game I just cannot get like in my bones, so to speak. So sorry about that. I have 3 actions. I very much want to refit that periscope device on me. I want to wipe out the Syria. So I think that's a good turn. The problem is there's an unrevealed ship, so my refit action is going to take multiple actions. All right, I'm going to do a bold attack. Yeah, why not? We're going to do a bold attack against this unrevealed ship. It's my first action. Not a warship. That makes me happy. All right, so I'm doing a bold attack. I'm +3, +4. Right. +3, +4. I need a 6 because there's no warships there. Sorry, math got really confusing in my head for a second. I need a 6. I got an 11, total overkill. So 2 notoriety, +1 because I'm continuing on with the bold attack. I can put this in either the Eastern Pacific or the Western Pacific. I'll put it in the Eastern Pacific. I'll have more opportunities to get stuff in the Western Pacific later. And now I'm going on to attack the Syria, I don't know. It's a slaver ship. I just need a 3 + 1. I just need a 3. That's an 8. So this is dead. No notoriety bump. And I'm also going to put the Eastern Pacific. Plus that gives me +1 crew, which is super nice. Now, my last 2 actions, I'm doing a refit. I'm going to discard this token for 2 salvage, so it would have been worth 6 points. I think the salvage is more important, so I think I could just put it there. I don't know why I would need destroyed tokens. I don't know. Or I guess I can do the refit and then discard it during the action. I don't know how that works. I guess I could just use it for 2 salvage when I need it. Probably makes more sense. So I'm going to do a refit action. I'm going to discard this 2 just to enhance my chances of this going well. I have no hidden ships there. I'm doing +3 plus the 2 for the treasure, so I'm at +5 to do a refit action. +5, I rolled a 7. That gives me a total of a 12. I'm going to spend this token for 2 salvage and this ship for 1 salvage, and I'm going to get the periscope device. And now future bold attacks, I don't get the +1 in between, which I think can be really, really helpful. Because I'm basically planning just to wipe out that whole line with 1 action. It just becomes an action economy puzzle at this point. Right, because if I can get there, wipe that whole thing out, wipe that whole thing out with 1 turn. I mean, that's an 8-8-7. That's not bad. This is 9-9-9-8. That's a 10. That's obviously going to be a little rough. But I like my chances. I might do this in 2 actions, right? I could do a stalk attack versus that armored frigate, get him over here. Because again, bold actions stop as soon as you use 1 for salvage. So I can put him into salvage and then wipe out the other 3. I like my action economy here. That's kind of set up for me. pretty well. Whew. All right. Now, the only problem right now is I need 3 moves to get there. It would have been nice if I had a treasure that sped that up. But I could also do, well, I also just journey to the center of the earth thing, which is pretty bananas. I'm probably never doing this Torres Straits thing. I just don't love where my hull is enough to consider that. Seeing the chart. Ibrahim, what's up, dude? Oh man, hitting a 1. I missed my count a few lines up. I don't see it, dude. I wonder if it just disappeared. Sorry about that, man. Jay Bear, did you forget to check the inside cubes in the hill turn? If you roll a 1, I think you lose a cube in Ocean 6. Now sort of, yeah, I did. So you can lose a cube, or you can spend. I could have spent the 1 notoriety, which I obviously would have done. I often forget to check the invite inside cubes during lull turns too. Doesn't feel an intuitive thing you have to do so easily forgotten. Jay, can you see my messages? I can see your messages now. I did not see your message earlier, Ibrahim. I just see your messages now. So I don't know why YouTube keeps swallowing you, and I'm really sorry for that, dude. That sucks. So if I could figure it out, I assure you it's nothing on my end with settings. So that's a thing. So I'm going to draw a card. Boom, boom, boom. Board state's pretty good. How many white chips can I account for? I'm probably going to add those blue chips to the thing soon, which isn't great. The thing where I was tempted to get the thing where it's like -1 for stock attacks, because, whatever. But I have only 10, 14. There's still 15, so I have 15 more white ships in here. And just kind of putting them in places where if I can fill up the menace with all white ships, that'd be amazing. The Indian Ocean. Now I begin the second part of this voyage under the seas. The first ended in that moving scene at the Coral Cemetery, which left a profound impression on my mind. And so Captain Nemo would live out his life entirely in the heart of this immense sea, and even his grave lay ready in its impenetrable depths. When the Nautilus is in the Indian Ocean, you may pass to gain 1 Nemo and +1 notoriety. The Nemo I don't hate. The +1 notoriety is not. It's just like, again, this is a 0-point card, so it, and again -1, so like -1 it's still a 0-point card, so like it's not -1-point card, but it's an action for a Nemo might not be the worst idea. So I'll just put this over here, and that's going to trigger in the Indian Ocean. So I'll put a marker. Sorry, that's pretty bad glare there. Nothing I can do about that now. Sorry about that. And that's going to put this over here. I have a lot of treasures considering how rarely I've searched, but not a terrible thing. So we're rolling these 4 dice. A 1 and a 4 are my differential, so 3 actions. I'm going to use the 2 here. I'll use a 1 here. We have a 4 and a 1 to sort out. It's a dark yellow ship. I'll put it there with the 4 because I'm really don't have much interest in engaging with him. South Atlantic does need some whites. Woof. So let me put this over here with the 1 and give myself another shot to pull a white for the South Atlantic. I already have 1 ship in the Western Pacific, so as I'm trying to fill this tonnage track with white ships, here we go. Put this in the South Atlantic with the 4. That makes more sense. It gives me more options and flexibility. So I'm not really going back to the South Pacific anytime soon for a 2-point ship, which is a 1 point, and I don't really need the salvage. So, I mean, 3 more salvage would be good for War Room, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna just stumble into white ships eventually, right? So, oh, and when I fit this in, I could also fit the Nemo Prison binoculars for free, available for free for any upgrade card. When any other upgrade card is refit onto the Nautilus, you have to do a refit action. Since Galileo, scientists have tried fitting together 2 telescopes for binocular vision. Captain Nemo has found a powerful prism to fashion them. So what's reaction phase when I reveal a hidden ship? In the action phase, so it's not in the place of phase. It's got to be in the action phase. I can redraw it, returning the first ship to the bag. So it's a good way to help me kind of fish for some white ships who I want to devour and destroy in all ways. Oh, man, these yellow ships are attack of an 8. It's just not worth it. It's not worth messing with him. It's not worth it. I think I just moved to get myself next to the North Atlantic. Dude, that Arabian tunnel card, whatever it is so good. Like, it's such a game changer for movement purposes when you can get that card out. That I'm always a little sad when I don't see it. Not excessively sad, just a little sad. And we've seen 5 yellow ships. There are 9 more in the bag. 6 yellow ships. There are 8 more in the bag. I'm going to spend 1 action to move here. 1 action to move here. Again, I do wish I had one of those treasures with a double movement. Discard that for a Nemo crew. Yeah, I think we're going to have to chill. I never did an on-site action in the Western Pacific. It's something to consider. We'll have on-site action possibilities here and here. But I mean, the Western Pacific just had so many ships that I'm always reluctant with that. That -1 doesn't sound like a lot, but when you need a 9+ to actually do an uprising, it just makes the math that much worse. There's no warships here, so actually there would be no negative for adventure cards, so I actually will move all the way to the North Atlantic. I don't think it makes sense. I'm tempted to maybe sack the chief engineer to give myself 2 action points. Honestly, that all can wait till next turn. All right, so I spent 1, 2, 3, got it to the North Atlantic, and I will just bold attack those guys to oblivion next turn. Now, any revealed ship, warship or not, does give you a negative modifier for insight actions, so I have to worry about that. I had this +1 free adventure. Man, I have like 2 ways to get into the adventure deck without spending actions, so that's pretty strong. I have this +2 modifier. I still have this +3, and I have this +3, and I have this +1 on everything, and I have make a die anything you want. So I have a lot of nice resources at my disposal. Oh, I hate this card. But again, I hate it with these cards I don't like that I still think are fun. Like, this is I like the flavor of this card. I think it's fun. Required repairs. The Nautilus seemed becalmed only a few yards beneath the surface of the waves. I suppose that the crew is occupied with interior repairs, rendered necessary by the violence of the mechanical movements of the machine. At game's end, pass and score the card's negative VPs if not removed. To remove this card, I must do a repair action and forgo 1 hull to forgo 1 hull that I would have gained for doing it. So if I gain 2 hull, I can gain 1 hull and then get rid of this, but I do need to get rid of this card. It's pretty terrible. I'll put this over here. Hopefully I don't forget about it. You exist. Just, send me a text in like 10 minutes. Thank you. All right, we're going to go there. And I would like a 1 and a 6, please. A 2 and a 6 will do. 4 actions. I did get a 1, but it was on the black die. So I have to place these 4 dice, a 1, 2, a 4, and a 6. I'm saying it in case they flip. They didn't. Look at that. Everything has a ship. So we're just revealing ships now. And we're running out of white ships. Although it's still, I think, by far the plurality of what's still left in this bag. But this is a yellow ship. I'm going to use this 1 to put this yellow ship up here. Okay, just trying to put them in places I don't really need to be concerned about. And then set up strings for bold attacks in the larger oceans. Oh, that's good. I'll put this over here in the Western Pacific with this. Oh, interesting. With the 6, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's probably fine. All right, I have a 2 and a 4 left. Oh, that's a bad one. I'm going to put this here with the 2. Don't really want to mess with that dude. And then the 4. Be the white ship I know you can be. It is a white ship. I'll put it here. Yeah, because if I can wipe out here, go here, wipe out here, come down, take care of the South Atlantic, that's a really strong spot for me. All right, 4 actions. I'm spending the first action on a bold attack. And I'm going to use this card now to get +1 crude DRM for the entire turn. Another card that gets passed. So I have 3 actions left. I'm +4, and I'm just going to try to do all of this. Now remember, I don't get the +1 between bold attacks. I did that over here because I wanted to clear that out to make it more likely I got the periscope. Now that I have the periscope device, again, that's linked to the war motivation. It's a pretty strong card. I dig. So I'm going to try to, there's 3 9s and an 8. I'm +4, so I essentially need, there's no warships there, so no dice roll modifications otherwise. I'm going to get a total, if I wipe them all out, it's 7 notoriety, but it's 7 is better than 11, or 7 is better than 10, because it would be +1 each. You know, some advanced math for you. So I'm going as the Clipper, so I am +3, +4, +1. So I actually need, I don't even need 5s, I need 4s. So I need 3 4s and a 3. I rolled an 8, this is dead. I'm in the North Atlantic, so it has to go there. +1, not an additional +1, it's just the +1 because that's the notoriety cost there. All right, this is dead. +1, we're going here. I was going to the other 9 first. This is dead. +3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that's a 7-point shift, 6-point shift for me though. The blue ships get added to the bag. And then finally we come here, and I just need a 3. I got a 4 +2. Nice. All in one action. That makes me happy. Whew. I could do some incite stuff here, which I like. And then I can deal with the European seas next turn, and then come back, deal with the North Atlantic, and especially want to start dealing with stuff. Well, the risk of them flipping is lower. Flipping to gray is lower because, again, the North Atlantic is now totally clean, which is good. I'm going to use an action for a search. I'm +3, +4 because of the map room. That gives me a 9 total. So I'll take this off, get 1 treasure. I can X that to gain a hull. Now again, I still need to do a repair action for this. I can't just, I gained a hull, I forgo it and get rid of that. I actually have to do a repair action. I think. I mean, it's unclear, but that's my interpretation of the rules. I'm spending an action on an incite, +3, +4. That's an 8. That's a 12. So -2 notoriety, which is great. And I place a cube. I'm tempted to do the repair action now. I could try this other incite action. Yeah, why not? +3, +4, -1. So I'm +3. That's a 6 +3 is a 9 minus. No, +3 +4 +6 is 10. -1 is 9. So another notoriety loss and another cube. Again, these cubes are 3 each. They do make sense to get out. It's going to get, I'm running out of opportunities to get them out easily. And it's nice to do it when I have a totally clean slate. So again, it was bold attack, search, incite, 0 actions left. Private Medetta, when you wrote that, Greg missed the comment. I see no earlier comment from you. Yeah, thanks, Private. That's the same boat I'm in, which is weird. It's very weird. I'm wondering. We'll see what I want to do with the European seas. I mean, I could take that as salvage, but again, I do want to fill this up to menace. So this might be a good opportunity just to take that one as a menace, as something to get me there. But then I would kind of be giving up in the war room. And that's not great. I would like the war room. All right. We're going to get the next card. Cape Horn. Pass and lose one hull. And gain, I don't want to lose one hull, but if I fail it, I have to suffer hits equal to my highest. Oh, this is bad. The wind, waves, currents, and icebergs swirling forever west to east without a land to stop them. Ned's explanation paused and his brow furrowed in thought. It's a bad place. Cape Horn's a bad place, kids, and apparently it's bad on our ship as well. So rolling 2 dice, I rolled a 5. That's garbage. That would be 2 random hits. I don't want 2 random hits. So I'm going to use Red Sky at night. That gets me up to a 7. I hate wasting that. I lose a hull, so I was probably going to lose a hull anyway by taking 2 hits. I did not want to lose 2 hull, and I'll gain a Nemo. And, yeah. Not the greatest card. But, again, still fun within the context of the game, unlike other cards, which I might have talked about a few thousand times in the last 2 times I played this game. So, rolling 4 dice replacement. If I get a lot of actions, I might just repair my hull now, and I might spend a pretty expensive thing to do it as well. Oh, that's a bad roll. Wow. That, my friends, is a bad roll. I get 1 action. Super crispy. All right, the 5 is going to place the thing here. That's really bad. I might kill that ship. I might not. I don't know. And now I have a 1, a 6, and a 6. So the 6 I'll place here. I'm running out of room in this part of the world in a way that's getting me concerned about white ships flipping. And that will change as soon as I wipe out the European seas. Yeah, I think I use the chief engineer, get 2 actions. All right, the 1, oof. I'm going to put here in the Central Pacific. And the other 6 is either going to go in the Indian Ocean or in the Western Pacific. I'll put it in the Indian Ocean. Yeah, I think I need to make more spaces for things to go. The Western Pacific. If I roll 2 1s, I'll be flipping ships like crazy. That's not good. I do not want to flip white ships. So I'm going to get rid of the chief engineer for 2 action points. None of those treasures gives me action points at all. That's crazy. So I'm up to 3. I'm spending 1 to go here. I'm spending 1 for a stalk action on the armored frigate. And I think I keep it here. Ah, man. I need an excessive amount of actions next turn. The first officer does give me another action. And if I clear this out, then I could potentially go clear out the Western Pacific next turn. I would need some impressive actions. Plus, I would be forgoing in sight rolls here. That was a really bad roll. I mean, I got tons of space in 2, tons of space in 3. All right, so stalk action on the Western Frigate. It's attacking me with a 6, and I rolled a 3 because I just cannot get past one of these without taking damage. I rolled a 1 again, so there's that. Woof. I need I'm doing a +3, +1, +1 because of stalk attack. So I just need a 5, and I rolled a 6. I get 1 notoriety, and I will. It's not the points. Oh, man, yeah, these might not be happening again. So I will take it here to fill up the tonnage track. My last action, we're doing bold attacks. It's just a 7, 8, 8. I keep saying just, I have to stop tempting fate here. Again, +1 DRM in all non-torpedo attacks. So I need a 4 for the whaler. I rolled a 6, that's +1. Put this here, I get a treasure. I get to get rid of this and lose a resource or a character. I know. I will take a notoriety and examine because the map room is so awesome. I think I'll take this and put this back in. I forgot I had the map room. I'm going to go here. I need a 4. +1 notoriety. And I'm going here. I need a 3. No notoriety at all. That wiped that out. And this comes back. How's my Nemo? I could do a bunch of things here. We still have troubled dreams, which will probably be excellent for whatever the finale is. I dig. If I can get another ship this placed there hidden, I could do a stalk attack there. I do want to get out of here because, again, I don't want these white ships to start flipping. There are only 30 of them. They're +3 each. I want to get all 30 if I can, right? So it's important. And these bold attacks have been awesome. And this parachute device has saved me 5 notoriety, which has been really, really nice. Again, once you get there, everything's purple. It's garbage. Like, yeah, lots of good things happening here. As far as dice roll modifications, I have a +2. I have a +3 after the fact. Make any die I want. I probably want to get an and we'll see how many actions I get. But I probably want to get this. If I can do ship search in sight and then maybe move. But we'll see. All right, next card. Unwanted reflections. I have to spend hull, and I can get a previously sacrificed character back or a Nemo back. All right, we're going to spend the hull. I need a 6. That's an 8. So this is unwanted reflections. Who authorized you to work on the Nautilus? Second Officer Patrick demanded in a forceful brogue. Nadine glared back at him, but his voice, unruffled and competent, replied, I did. So, difference. Return 1 previous sacrificed character in play or gain a Nemo. I will get a previously sacrificed character. I like rerolls because if I roll 2, that's super bad. I'm going to get Conceal back. Look at all these character resources I have. Now we're doing placement. Please don't roll a lot of 1s. Excellent. 4 actions. I get a 6, a 2, a 3, and a 5. That's pretty fantastic roll. So 5, 6, 3, and I have to reveal a ship for 2. Okay, the ship is getting very heavy on warships. Yeah, we're going to put you there. I would like to kill another ship in the European seas, but I'm quite concerned about all the warships that are there. So we remember I can but I do have the Nemo prism binoculars, which makes that a little less sketchy. Again, we have 5, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18, 20. So there's only 10 more merchant ships. Yeah, I think but there's not that many ships left in here. I mean, it's probably 50-50. I would like to get an inside cube out. I'd like to do a search. I would like to do a lot of things, kids. All right, we're going to spend an action. We're going to do a stalk attack on one of these. I mean, there's a chance we go for scores of seas. I just don't think I have enough actions. And again, I've done nothing in the South Atlantic. It is a white ship. It is the Star of India. I'm rolling 2 dice. I'm +5, -1 because the hidden warship. So I need a 6 or better. I rolled a 5. I don't want to fail that because it'd be two. I would lose, since I did not roll a 1, I would lose 2 crew, and I would get a notoriety, and it would have been a giant waste of an action. So again, that -1 because of worship is so gross. But I definitely don't want to lose that. I'm tempted to do a reroll. The DRMs I have are not. I mean, I could use a +2 because of Professor Aronnax, but woof. I mean, it's a 7-point character, 8-point characters with Nadim, but the 2 crew is really gross. Again, the officer motivation. Again, if you don't roll a 1, you lose 2. It's pretty bad. I don't have anything that prevents all crew loss. I'm gonna do the reroll. I think chances are good I roll higher than a 6, right? Woof! I just cursed it. There we go. An 8. Thank you, Conceal. You're the best. So this is going to go in the European seas. 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not doing Scourge. I just don't think I'm going to have the actions for it. I do want to try to search before I go. So I'm +3, +4 because of the map room. -1 because it's a hidden warship. So that's a 6, 9. So it's 4 + 6 - 1, so 9. So this goes away. I get 1 treasure. It is +1 action. That I dig. It's weird though because I got an action just to spend an action. It's like kind of not the greatest. As 1 worship token for all DRM purposes. All right. So if I incite +4 - 1, so I'm +3 again. I could try to get 1 incite cube out, and then book it for the Western Pacific, which I need to get to next before some of these ships start turning gray. So if I roll 2 1s, it's already going to turn gray, which is really gross. All right, 1 action for incite. +3 +1 because of the second officer. That's a 13. So it's a 14 -1 because the hidden warship or the revealed warship, whatever you want to call it. So that gives me a cube and -2 notoriety, really avoiding those gray ships for a while. And then with my last action, I will get out of here and head over to the Western Pacific. Because if I go Western Pacific, Indian Ocean, into the South Atlantic, into the Eastern Pacific, that's how I can fill this up. Well, the North Atlantic, oh no. I still need to get 1 more ship in the North Atlantic. Honestly, I could take this thing out in the Arctic Ocean. It's only attack of a 6. It's kind of a weenie warship, and it won't have any friends there. So that's probably a good bet. Take that ship, fill the North Atlantic on the way to the Western Pacific. All right, I like that. I like it a lot. And I could, well, like, right, I still have to do a repair, and I could still test this Indian Ocean thing and try to get 2 extra actions, but that's probably a little risky. All right, next, a frigate's demise. Oh, that's fine. 2 enormous waterspouts crashed onto the deck of the frigate, racing like a torrent from stem to stern, toppling crewmen, breaking spare masts and yard arms from their lashings. Add the black background frigate. Ding, ding, ding. I have a friend. And fight it immediately. This is a mandatory stock action. It's not going to be worth any points, but again, I could fill that and I could just keep moving. So I don't hate this. So it's attacking me with a 6. Those count as a warship, so it actually is going to hit me on 1 less. So, of course, that makes all the difference. So it would not have hit me, but now it becomes a 5, so it does hit me. So I get 1 hit, and it gets to my hull. So that's, again, adding to my problems there. It's a mandatory stalk action, so I'm +5 going in. That's just unreal. If I had the war room, none of this is bad. Since I don't have the war room, all of this is bad. And +5 because it becomes a 9, becomes an 8 because of the stupid warships. So I think I need to do another reroll. Ugh. I don't want to use a +3 DRM, so this retained token goes away. Now I could put this back in the bag, I think how that works. I don't know. I don't want to reroll a same friggin' math. I rolled a 4 again. This is where my game falls apart. It's always like so great, and then it's not. And like I need to kill this thing at some point. So it's like you're rolling 2 4s in a row is bad. I have another reroll. I'm using up all my rerolls because I just need something higher than a 4. I rolled a 4 again. Holy crap. And I wasted all those rerolls. That's the bigger problem. I don't care about rolling a 4 as much as I care about wasting 3 rerolls to roll it again and again and again when I could have just killed Professor Aronnax. That was not fun. Yeah, it's really gonna. That's where the war room comes. Isn't so great. I wasn't getting the opportunities to get it. Who can roll 3 4s in a row like a champ? I can. All right, Professor Aronnax is dead. I've wasted too many resources to not get this done. This dude's dead. It's gonna come here, and that was very painful. And my hull is now 3 away from defeat, which is another problem. All right, placement. 3 actions. A 1 3 3 4. So 3 3. Well, 1 3 for sure. I'm gonna pull a ship. Now I could do 3 4 3. And I'm pulling 1 ship, and I have 1 place to put it. Yeah, I have to start killing ships in the Western Pacific this turn. That's why I really was so committed to getting that frigate out. That's good, but my hull is obviously a concern. Something that would have, well, that's an expensive thing. I don't know. Yeah, that was really a very unfortunate sequence. It felt great. Ugh. And I know I'm gonna have like the hollow explosion at some point. I'm about to get attacked again. I mean, just the number of points I spent. It was like 10 points, 3 rerolls, and then this guy. So that's another 6, 7, 8 points plus a notoriety. It was 18 points and 3 rerolls just to kill 1 ship. Like when things get bad in this game, in a point-based game, it just feels different for me than Zeds. Where Zeds is like things go bad, and it's like, yeah, it's Zeds, whatever. I still need to survive. And now it's like, oh, great. Now my chance of an ultimate victory is now very much, damage. So 1 action, another action. I'm gonna do a 3rd action. We're doing a stalk attack. It hits me on a 7. I'm going to roll the 6 because that's what I do. I rolled a 3, so I take 1 damage. I take a damage to the crew. And now I'm going to attack. I'm +3, +4, +5. I hit on a 5. There are no warships present. I rolled a 7. That's 1 notoriety. This will go here into the Western Pacific. Again, they're not worth many points. I'm just trying to fill this up to the menace at minimum. I will discard this for an action. no notoriety. I'm going to spend an action to do a bold attack. I need a 7, 9, 9. So I'm just going to have to gamble at this point. So +3, +4. I need a 3 for the Mary Celeste. I rolled an 8, overkill. This goes there. I need a 5 for the Zealand. I rolled a 5. Woof. 3, 4. Okay. +1 notoriety. Again, no extra bump because of my periscope device. And I need a 5 for the whatever. I rolled a 2. And I used my rerolls. Oh, that's disaster. And again, this is where the war room's so great because I can turn that 2 into a 3, which is less of a disaster. I can't dice roll modify it. So I can't use like the +3 after the fact, right? Like it just doesn't work. So I have to use Trouble Dreams. I'm going to change that die to something else. I was hoping to save that for later. I cannot afford to lose 2 crew right now. So this is out. Another notoriety. Gives me +1 Nemo, which goes there. And we put this here. So the South Atlantic is obviously the weakest link. I'm right next to the Indian Ocean, so I can get some stuff done there. I can do a search and an incite here. I have 3 cubes left. I can put a cube there. I can put a cube in the South Atlantic and one here. So like we have ways to get these last 3 cubes out. But I just, again, I'm out of rerolls and I'm out of my get out of jail free cards. Like I'm literally down to like just needing to roll well. And just had to spend a lot of resources in unfortunate ways. All right, done. Next. Hey, a hollow explosion. That's not great timing. I'm already at Menace. It's now going to go to Scourge. It's fine. I mean, the red ships tend to be worth enough to make it worth, keeping them on the track, even though it's -1. So I'm going to put these 7 red ships out. I'm putting the Deadly Seas thing on top into here. I'm going to roll a D8 to get rid of 4 of these ships because there are 4 defeat levels I have not reached yet. So this one's out. I'm going to roll D6s now to get rid of the other 3. That one's out. I have 5 left here. I have 5 left here. I have 5 left here. I just rolled 3 6s in a row. That one's out. And this one's out. 2 of these are going to be added to the bag. One's going into my C. So the one that goes into my C is going to be this one. I rolled a 3. This one joins me. These 2 go in the bag. All right. Mandatory stock fight. It hits me on a 9. I rolled a 1 and a 3, so at least I rolled a 1 in there, so only 1 damage. It hits a 5, so my hull is down to only 2 left. Remember, the next time I repair, I have to get rid of this, so that's gross. And now I'm doing a stock attack. I need an 11. I have the +3 over here, so I'm going to go 3. Hollow explosion is this will just come out, and then it's a normal event. I wish that was clearer too, but we will do normal placement after this. +3, I need an 8 effectively to kill this thing. I rolled a 9. Fantastic. I was actually +4, so this is dead. It's only going to be 3 points, but I'll keep it and put that there. It's anything a 4 or above, I'll tend to throw it on there. Late game, because I don't think I'm getting the war room as much as it would have been super helpful. It's probably a little bit late for that. All right, we're doing a placement roll. I get 4 actions. I rolled a 1. We'll put this here. That was a 6. Sorry, that flipped. 2, 3, and 6 are left. The 3 will go here. The 6 will go here. And now I have the 2. Hope these, I mean, I'm going to need to kill a lot of ships in Eastern Pacific. I'm hoping I just pull all the rest of the whites. And we get a blue. It's like a white, it's just different. I have to start healing my hull, and I would like to do it in a place where I have no ships. So there's that. I'm going to spend 1 action to search. Again, they're collectively -1, so I don't have to worry. It's not -1 each. So I'm +3, +4 because of the map room, -1 because there's a warship there. That's a 7. So that gives me enough for a treasure. That's a 2er. I'm going to spend an action to do an insight. Again, if I can avoid these green ships for a while. So I am +3, +4 because of my second officer, -1 because of the dudes. That's a 7. That's 11 total. Again, now you exerted this, obviously. -1, so 10. So I place a cube, -1 notoriety. I think I start working on my hold. It's -15 points as is. I could spend some expensive treasure, just really make sure I bang it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a repair action. I'm spending 2 actions. It's not great, but if any, yeah, I'm gonna exert crew. I'm +3. I'm gonna discard this 3, so I'm +6, -1 because there's any warships. So +6. So really +5, a 7 or better would be great. I rolled a 6. So that's an 11. That gives me 1 hull repair, which I have to use on this. So that -1 again, really jamming me up. Like if I had the -1, I heal this and heal 1, and now I'm just getting rid of this. So we fail that and forgo the hull repair. I'm gonna have to do that a couple more times. I do want to get this up, and more than anything, I mean, I'm worried about if I have a bad attack roll, I'm gonna be out like that, dude. Like, I mean, a 4, 5, 6 twice would not be unreasonable. We go here. Hey, the chief engineer. Oh. All of a sudden, I want salvage. All of a sudden, I want salvage. All right, the chief engineer, Wen Zhu, was wanted by the imperial government and escaped from the Canton through Hong Kong. Stocky and strong with a love of song, Wen Zhu's hands stayed busy crafting things for the Nautilus or those aboard with remarkable cleverness and invention. Fail +1 notoriety for 1 free refit action with a brilliant result. So if I can get 2 more salvage, which this is 1 easy. Easy. Because I'm not going to need it in the Indian Ocean. Kind of wishing I put the iron side there. I can get the map room, which I still think might be worth it to help me get through the end of this, because I do need to get back to the Eastern Pacific. Remembering cards, the game could end anywhere around here, so I have got 5 more rounds, 6 more rounds, including this one for sure. All right. Marty, what's up? Hello, how is it going, Greg? Is the dice tray new? Did it help in your rolling? I was gone for a minute. Friendly reminder, you still have a hull repair to do. Yeah, no, yeah. Thanks for the text. I summoned it to text me. Marty, it was going well, and then it turned to, I had a really unfortunate sequence, and my hull is about to get destroyed. But other than that, everything's been great. All right, 5 actions. Woo! 1, I'll put here. 6, I'll put here. 5, I'll put here. And then we're revealing a ship. If it's white, I'll put it in the South Atlantic. If it's not, I'll put it in the North Atlantic or the European seas. It is not. You go there with the 3. I have to repair this hull. So I'm spending 2 actions and a 4 treasure I'm +7, -1 because there's any warships, so I'm +6. Again, I'm playing the piracy thing, so anything hidden is -1, which is awful. I rolled a 7, which is great. What is this? Someone do the math. I was +7, 14, -1, 13. So 2 hull. That makes me feel at least a little bit better. And then I could discard this to gain another hull, and that leaves me in a better spot point-wise. I do not want to lose those 5 points if I can help it, so I spent 3 to hopefully save 5. We'll see if I regret that by the end of the game. So I'm probably taking a couple more attacks, so maybe that was a little premature, but I wanted to live. I had 5 actions. No, that I had 5 actions. Did I do it twice? No, I should be at 3. I had 5 actions. I don't know why that went down. I think that wasn't an action what I just did. So yeah, because I definitely had a 1 and a 6. I'm going to move here. What can I do here? Oh, I can test the hull. Oh. +3 DRM. Yikes. Yeah, putting that there was a mistake because it wasn't a warship. It's trying to get these 2 actions worth it. It's so tempting. In Indian Ocean, I can fail this to gain a Nemo. Or pass this to gain a Nemo, but my Nemo is where I want it for now. Can I roll a 7? I think it's a mistake. I think it's a mistake. Yeah, I'm blowing through my treasures. So bad. Yeah, I just don't know what those 2 actions do for me, because if I fail it, I'm gonna really regret trying it. And my DRMs are just absolutely shot. I mean, it's only worth 2 points. Oh man, I really want to do it. I really want to. I'm not gonna test it. It's just too risky. Too risky. I'm about to take some damage. I can't afford to lose the hull. It's just not worth it. No, that's a 10 though, which is like super gross. I would only need a 5 though. No, I would need a 6 if I'm doing bolt attacks. I'm gonna add that green to woof. Those actions will be amazingly helpful. Alright. I'm gonna test it. Oh, they're gonna be. Oh, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. I've just been on such a string of bad rolls. I'm testing it. It goes here. I'm testing this. I'm exerting hull. It's nullified by the warship. And I need a 7 or better. 8. Excellent. Who was worried? All right, 2 more actions. Because I spent 2 for the repair, 1 for the move. I'm back to 4. That gives me some more options. All right, we're doing a stalk attack against this clown. He hits on a 7, so I'm going to roll a 6 because that's what I do. I rolled a 7. Excellent. No other warships there, so he does not hit me. I hit him on a 3, 4, 5. I need 5 more. That's an 11. What overkill? That's 1 notoriety. And this is going to go in the Indian Ocean. Now, why those extra actions were helpful, because now I can do an incite action without the warship there, try to get the notoriety down to prevent these green ships from becoming anything I need to contend with. Oh, and I wasn't putting that ship there. I was putting that ship there. So if I get one more warship, I get the war room for free, well, for a notoriety, but I guarantee it. And we'll see. This armored frigate, I only need these 2 ships will fill this Indian Ocean at the Menace. We'll see. I'll probably end up with an armored frigate at some point, right? So I'm going to spend an action on the. There's actually because we had a treasure hunt. Action for incite. Oh, it's any revealed ships. Ah, shoot. So it's -1 per revealed ship token. So it'd actually be -2. So I'd be coming in at a +2. I'd be coming in at a +3, +4 with that, and then -2, -1. So I'd be at a +1. That's not worth it. So yeah, green ships are getting added anyway. I still, obviously, am not upset. Do I do a bold attack action is the question. I could get rid of that for another action, which I think makes some sense. 2, 3. I got the 2. I did an attack. So I still have 3 more actions, right? Because I spent 2, I moved, I got 2, I attacked. Still 3 more actions. I'm going to do another attack. We're doing bold. Because at some point, you just expect to roll 6s. Alright, 3 + 1 because of that, so +4. I rolled a 4. Ugh! Well, I'm in go mode. Ah, it's so painful. Yeah, I would lose 2 crew because I didn't roll a 1. And if I had attacked the Donnell first, it would have been killed. Here we go. Alright, I'm using that. +3. 1, 2, 3. These get added to the bag. Why did I do +3? 1, 2, 3. I was here when I did that test. I got 1 more when I killed the Ironclad. That gave me 2, and I get 2 more for killing this. He gets added to the Indian Ocean. I'm doing a bold attack. I'm going to keep going. Now I just need a 4. I don't have to add the thing. I rolled a 4 and a 5. Excellent. So the 5 would also not have. I needed a 6. So no matter what order I did it in, what it is, I don't have to add the extra thing for bold attack because of the periscope device. And God, I put myself with no margin whatsoever. But I've managed to get my Indian Ocean up to the Menace station. I'm going to do a search action +3, +4. A +3, +4. That's a 7, so really close to a 12, but only an 11. So I think I've only had 1 search action that's given me 2 treasures, which isn't good. This comes out. Give me something good. Ugh. I'm going to take a notoriety, put this back, or take another one because of the map room, because it's giving me notoriety anyway, and like, there's not a lot of things that troll you in here, and I just happen to, I got a wonder. I forgot how many wonders are in here too, and the wonders are kind of garbage for me because they're only worth 1 point each, so that was a really unfortunate search action. It gave me a notoriety and a point. Oh, the joys. So that goes there because it was like down here, back up, attack, bold attack, search, incite action now, +3, +4, -1 because there's a cube already there. And I rolled a 4. It's a 7. Apathy, no effect. My rolling has just gone to crap. And that's good. It's good. It's good for the game. So annoying. I would like to get all my insight cubes out. I guess I can just do it in the South Atlantic, because I'm going to be there for a minute anyway. So, yeah, we can go take out the armored frigate, deal with the rest of it as we go. Next card. Hey, my wonder's worth 2 points now. I get a notoriety off the jump. Keep this card as a reminder that each wonder is worth 1 bonus VP at the end of the game. My countryman Nadar was among the survivors, a renowned caricaturist, balloonist, and now photographer, boarded the Nautilus concerned for his possessions. He ventured with our adventurers before his daring escape. Dun dun dun. I still have tons of adventure actions. There's just no gems on top of it, so I'm not that eager to do it. But maybe it'd be a good idea, because I can do an adventure action for here, and I can do an adventure action with Journeys of the Earth. It's just, they're not that great for me. And oh my gosh. Lull turn. That's awesome. I did it twice. That's so great. Well, we ignore the 6. The 2 gets a treasure. It already has one, so we put one on the adjacent ocean. We'll put 1 there. 3 2s, and so we're basically filling all 3 of these things with here, but there are a lot of deadly things in here as well. So again, the warship. Getting those last couple of things in Eastern Pacific is going to be rough. It's a non-warship. I would love 1 more non-warship, please. There's not that many more non-warships, though, because remember, I have 4, 7, 11, 15, 20, and there's 3 on the board. So actually, there's still 7 in here. Woof. Non-warship. Excellent. Or warship. Excellent. 4, 7, 11, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23. There's still 7 in here. That's freaking crazy. This is a lot of points. It's 21 points. I mean, if you get them all, it's 3 per. Like, this is just gonna really start jamming me up. Another warship. I get the war room, which can be really helpful. War room would have been bonkers good for me if I had it a little earlier. I could do this to get adventure test results better. I mean, the war room is going to be hard to work out. I mean, these ships, I have to load up on the track, right? So, like, I don't know if I can waste my time with that. I think that makes some sense. So I'm going to take the chief engineer. I'm going to fail this. +1. I get a brilliance result. I'm going to get the Adventurers League. Bam. And now all adventure tests, I get +1. I'm going to discard this to get a free adventure. Because again, I have no actions right now. So again, it's a lull turn. I didn't get any. I'm going to get this treasure. Roll a die and count that many spaces down. If that count is greater than or equal to. Interesting. I should be in good shape with this one. This gives me +1 action. That's good treasure. So I'm rolling a die. I rolled a 6. That count on December 24th, the crew assembled above decks to witness their Christmas miracle, a row of glass balls glowing for a time before yielding to the night. Captain Nemo had for a time pushed back the darkness with electricity. Yeah, he did. All right, so I'm greater than both of them. So again, this is the opposite. Before, with the oleomargarine, you want it to be less than. Thematically, I'll never understand why. But if it's greater than both resources, I pass and I gain a Nemo, which gaining Nemo isn't necessarily good, but it is what it is. All right, that's done. I'm gonna now do this. I'm going to fail because it's only worth. I mean, it's 2 times 1 each, and then it's +1 for the scoring instance. It's not great. It's 3 points. I'm going to give this 3 points away to start going to the adventure deck. I can keep drawing until I get a keep card. Not a keep card. Oh, that's interesting. I have to do it. If I fail, I lose a hull, which is not great. And I need an 8. When a massive glacier cracked and fell into the waters near us, its roar was deafening, and the shock rattled every bolt and plate above the Nautilus. Our pace quickened, and we checked our systems, both human and mechanical. I am +1 on the adventure results. So 1 + 1. So I'm a 6. I'm a 2. I need 6 more to get to an 8 because there's no ships here. I rolled a 7. Excellent. I will pass this, and I could lose 3 notoriety. I think that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. I don't necessarily want the Nemo. I can keep drawing until I get a keep card, or until I want to stop. I'll keep drawing. Point Nemo. It's a keep card. I have to keep it there, right there. Calculate. I have to stop. I'm keeping this. I have to stop. Calculations had brought the captain's fingers to the map at exactly 48, 52, 36 south and 123, 23, 36 west in the South Pacific. The point on Earth furthest from any land. Its isolation lends itself to every form of mischief imaginable. Fail to avoid one time an imperialist power's victory at game's end. Pass if unused. Not terrible, not great. So we now are. I'm pulling adventure cards. I'll be like, oh, now it's placement. No. This is all the stuff I'm doing on this turn. I think I chill now. Obviously, need to fill up the South Atlantic. Absolute loss of a turn isn't great. We have 4 rounds guaranteed, and then finale could be any time after that. Lost time. We had run aground at full tide, an inconvenient state of affairs, over floating the Nautilus off, but although it could neither sink nor split open, it was in serious danger of being permanently attached to the reefs, and that would have been the finish of Captain Nemo's submersible. Reduce the number of Nautilus upgrade cards available for purchase by one of your choice from among those available. Discard it. It's out of play for the rest of the game. Prize crew headquarters. Yeah, bye. So I'll leave this as the cheapest one available, and maybe we'll get lucky with our future event cards. Placement. Booyah. All right, I get some actions this time. Oh, I got to roll a black die too, don't I? All right, we get 3 actions. 6 gets a ship. And we're putting 3 more ships on the board with the 2, the 4, and the 3. That's a thing. I'll use that with the 3. Oh, that's crap. The 2 flips this. I have no choice. Ugh. That's really gross. Yeah, well, I lost out. That's a lot. I lost out on 5 points. Woof. So the 2 flips that. And now the 4 needs to place and the 4 places a white ship there, which is super nice. So now 2s are threatening some stuff. Oh, yeah, the 4 was here. The 2s are threatening some problems. I do have some empty spaces. Remember, if you can't flip anywhere adjacent, it just puts a warship in an empty space. I think I need to get to here and at least open up Cape Horn. That steam cruiser's liable to really mess me up, though. I have so much Nemo. Okay. I have enough Nemo that using the first officer is more reasonable, but again, that's 8 points in combination with Nadine, so that's a problem. I think I wipe out the steam cruiser this turn. Open up Cape Horn I could start using those ships to fill the South Atlantic. Obviously, I can pretty much bold attack these maybe because they're all white. Obviously, I need sixes, and we know how hard it is for me to roll sixes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Discarding this for an action. And we're going to stalk attack this steam cruiser. Steam cruiser hits me on a 9. I rolled a 7. It does 1 damage to me. It hurts my hull and my heart. We're now attacking it. I hit it on a 3 + 1 + 1. I hit it on a 4 more because I just need a 9. There we go. Or I can just roll a 9 straight up. That's 1 notoriety. And we're going to add that to the South Atlantic because we are adjacent to both of those. Still need to get 2 more in the Eastern Pacific, but, you know, one thing at a time. Next. Aeronox's determination. For 7 months we've been aboard your vessel, and I ask you today, in the name of my companions as well as myself, if you intend to keep us here forever. Professor Aeronox, Captain Nemo said, I'll answer you today just as I did 7 months ago. Whoever boards the Nautilus must never leave. So I can test 3, 6, 3, 2 + 3 is 5, + 1 is 6. I need a 5 now. There you go. So I pass, and I immediately return 1 sacrifice character back to play, if available. I'm going to get Conceal because I like rerolls. And, you know, the die just can't die. He went away, he came back, he went away, he came back. Fantastic. So this Adventurers League might actually pay some dividends by making these tests a little bit less precarious. I'm rolling 4 dice for placement. I get 4 actions. That's most excellent. The 1, the 2, and the 2, and the 5. Well, that's actually a good roll, and I'm glad I cleared this out because that could have been super bad. So 2, 2, that reveals. And it is a white ship. How lovely. 1 and the 5 are going to go here and here. Hmm. 7 left. I want to do another. I definitely want to get that hull off of that crap. -5 is no bueno. Just minus points is just bad. Again, that loss of when I getting rid of the -8 was a thing. Like now I'm here. Whoo! All right. I'm back. How's it going? Private, don't ask. Looking notoriety. Yikes. Juicy wonders. Maze Knight, what's up, sir? Oh no, I missed the beginning. Good thing this isn't TV. I'll have to watch it later. Is this a win, chat? Is this a win? Board looks more like the beginning of Act 2. You can check out anytime, but you can never leave Nemo 2023. It's like Hotel California, baby. Woo! All right. I feel okay. I don't love this warship badness. But I can. This armored frigate isn't terrible. This armored frigate's not terrible. I mean, they're essentially the same. Actually, this is actually they're a same to kill because these other warships are going to affect my modifications. So I could like kill this, give it on the Eastern Pacific, go over here, bold attack, go over here, kill this, fill out the South Atlantic, and then see what refills in Cape Horn. Because I definitely want to get the Menace. I mean, that's just in my whole game. So here, bam, bold attack. I just need a 3. There we go, showing off. Unnecessary rolls. This will go. I'll put this in the Eastern Pacific because I have 4 ships that I can account for the South Atlantic. Do I waste actions on searching here? No. Oh man. Yeah, my dice roll modifications are bad, but I do have conceal back, so I think I just have to gamble that I roll 2 6s. Uh, we're about to have purple ships, which is going to make this all the more interesting. I could do inside actions here, though, to prevent that as well. All right, I'm going to move. I'm going to do bold attack. 6s, here we come. So 3 plus 1 because of strength and prow. I need a 6. I got a 9. 2 notoriety. This goes in the South Atlantic. I'm going here. Again, I don't take the 1 in between because I have the periscope device. I still have the prism binoculars. I need a 6. I got a 7. 2 notoriety. This is in the South Atlantic, and now I go here. I just need a 3. That's a 6. Look at me. No notoriety gain. I think I do insight or treasure. Insight or treasure. Insight 3 plus 1 because of this dude still in play, so plus 4. That's a 14, so minus 2 notoriety, and my penultimate insight cube. That's right, I said penultimate. Yeah, it's a good spot, man. Because if I can get a ship here and here, that gets me where I want, and I've killed all. Well, that I lost, which is unfortunate. But we've gotten most of um, the merchant ships. All right, next, Captain Nemo's Thunderbolt. When the first islander laid hands on the companionway railing, he was flung backward by some invisible power. Lord knows what. He ran off howling in terror and wildly prancing about. I can use this for 2 and 1, and this on plus 4, and this gives me a notoriety if I fail. So I'm very glad I did the inside action before the treasure. So I just need 4 more. I rolled exactly a 4. Oh, thank you, Adventurers League. Plus 1 notoriety, and I pass, and we get ourselves a treasure. Treasures are good, except when they're bad. You heard it here first. Yeah, I might spend one of those because I still want to heal this hull. Placement. I would like 2s and 3s. Oh, almost another lull turn, because I'm doing really good at that. So 2, 2, 3, 4 might be too much of a good thing. So 2 and 2, replacing that and flipping it. Give me a white ship for the win. Oh, it's the sea serpent. Which still cracks me up. And I'm glad we're not on the purple side of the sea serpent, because it's a sea serpent and baby, and woof, it's liable to wreck you. I do need to kill that. I mean, that's going to be the 5th ship of the Eastern Pacific, so I don't have much of a choice. The damage is going to be really bad. And then 3 and 4 are going to go here and here. I only have 2 actions. I am guaranteed another round after this. I don't love that 2 has no place to go. That could very much trigger a loss. And there's still, I mean, who knows how many rounds, right? There's no guarantee that this is the last round. I could do Neo Prism, move, I get another action from there, and then kill the Sea Serpent. Yeah, how many white chips are left? I got 8, 12, 15, plus 9, it's 24, 25. So there's still 5 more white chips in this bag. I mean, there's not a lot of chips in this bag. The problem is, if it's a thing that gives me 2 notoriety, that Sea Serpent goes from horrible to really horrible. And I mean, I can prevent an Imperialist victory once, so that's strong. I mean, he's easier to kill, but he's still bad. Ugh. I still have a reroll, so that's nice. Man, I really wish I had the war room. I'm going to move here. We're attacking the sea serpent. It hits me on a 10. I keep rolling ones, which is good. So only 1 damage goes to my hull. Of course it does. Now I'm attacking it. This is a stalk attack, so I'm +3, +4, +5. I need a 6. I got an 8. Sea serpent dead. Finishes out the Eastern Pacific. Could discard a treasure for an action. I'm at -10 points in my hull, which I hate. I have 1 more in Sight Cube, which I would like to get on the board. But overall, I feel good about this. I would kind of hope the finale comes quick, because this could end up pretty poorly. Next, Ocean Wealth. Pass and +1 notoriety. Then, all right, so I understand, Captain. I understand your light is strolling in the midst of this wealth. You're a man who gathers his treasure in person. No museum in Europe owns such a collection of exhibits from the ocean. So I pass. I place 1 treasure in each major ocean. So we get 1 and 1. 2's got nowhere he can place it. 1 and 3, 1 and 6, 1 and 5, and then 4 puts 1 adjacent. I would like 5 actions, please. I'll take 4. 1, 2, 4, 5. So 2 is placing 1 here. 4 is placing 1 here. I think I keep attacking that because I have to make sure. Well, we still have a number of white chips in here, and I just can't let that fill up. Oh, maybe I can. So 2 and 4. I still have the 1 and the 5. I'm hoping to not pull white ships here. That will change. These are both warships. It makes the bag richer in white ships. So I'll put the 1. I'll put the 5 here, because worse. I mean, I could use white ships as like a little bit of cushion in the 1. And then the 1. Don't be white. 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 It's a trans charter. Garbage. So I put the 1 there, which makes me place 2 more ships. Again, that's from the Deadly Seas expansion. So the first one is not white. I'll put this over here. It is the airship from La France. And the second one, man, there's a lot of warships out here. I really need this game to end. The second one I'll put over here. Man, that one thing that makes you add a ship in every major ocean, that's like that math, that's really, really tight. So, potential end of game next round, right? So, no matter what I do this round, I have to kill another ship in the North Atlantic. And if I roll a number of 2s, I mean, I have this. So I think I deal with that. I would like to heal my hull, because that's 10 friggin' points lost. And everything's about to flip to purple, no matter what I do. Alright. I'm going to spend 1 action to move here. I'm spending another action to do a stalk attack, because this is whatever this is, it's a 7-point ship at minimum. If it's a warship, I can put it back. If it's a warship that's not that bad, I might keep it. But what's not that bad right now, I don't know. It's a white ship. Beautiful. So stalk attack. The hidden ships count as warships. So I'm hitting on a 3, 4, 5, -1 because of the warship. So I need a 4. No, I need a 5. I rolled a 10. +1. All ships are now purple. This goes here. These all flip to purple. and any other warship that gets placed will always be on the purple side. The only exception would be the Deadly Seas, because it doesn't have a purple side. The other side just says Deadly Seas. All right, that was 2 actions. I could gamble that this is the finale and just spend 2 actions to heal. I still have Nedlanders, which could be really helpful with whatever the finale is. I still have a reroll. Yeah, I'm going to spend 2 actions and a 4. So I'm +7. Really +6 is there are hidden ships there. That's... Again, the hidden ships are screwing me one more time. Woof. It's 1 hull. It's definitely not worth re-rolling. It's a little unfortunate. So that's 1 hull. At least I spent 4 points and 2 actions to save losing 5 points. So not great. Not a good transaction there. I'm going to use this for an action. And we'll do a search on +3, +4, -1, so on +3. That's a 9. Because +3, so it's a 10, -1, so I can get rid of this and get 1 treasure. Hopefully it was worth it. Oh, come on, man. Nope, I can take a notoriety, look at something else. I would have to lose a character or a resource. Getting trolled by this thing is so annoying. Oh, you fucking kidding me, dude. It's my least fun thing about it. It's the least, again, there's a number of things in the design of this game that just aren't fun. So again, I took 3 notoriety. So I spent a treasure to get an action, and I turned that into 3 notoriety. It's like, it's just, ugh. Yeah, like it's so tilting, dude. I don't mind a challenge. I do mind things like that, and it's why this game will not last on my collection, like for sure. Be the finale. It's not. All right, gain 1 notoriety. Or I can lose. This is awful. This is also like not a fun thing. Nemo's element. Nemo's agent secured recent tables of the elements Mendelev's and Myers. He was developing his own refinements and adding to his scientific quest to search for new elements. The first of which he would call pneumonium. I can lose a Nemo and a hull to get 4 freaking points, or I can just lose a hull and get no points. So I guess I lose a Nemo and a hull because might as well. So I get 4 points and lose 5. I'm in like tilted mode again. This game every friggin' time, man. And what I roll? Oh, a bunch of 2s. That's really bad. I have no more actions too because I spent them all. I have to do a lull turn. Oh my gosh, that's gonna kill me with notoriety losses. But I can't lose because of notoriety. That's a horrible roll. 3 2s is like worst case scenario. It's a really freaking bad roll. That's a really bad roll. Have I mentioned that was a bad roll? God. Woof. Wow. Alright. We have to take the lull turn. I'm going to get punished with these cubes, but I don't really have a choice. And you do the lull rolls, check up cubes after the fact. So I'm doing a lull turn. So ding. And there's no place for that treasure. I'm going to use this 2 here. It's green. I'm using this 2 here because I can't, there's nothing to flip, so I add a warship to the South Atlantic. Hopefully it's not one of the whites. It is, and now that's a warship. That's super awful. And now the 4, I have to flip a ship somewhere. Or place a ship somewhere, I'll place this ship here. Like, anything but 3 2s was... It's a really bad roll. I just have to hope the next end's the finale. Like, I don't have much of a shot to last here. Or I roll and I just don't roll any 2s. I mean, I'm good with any other number but 2. I've just rolled so many friggin' 2s. Alright, we're gonna kill the second officer. I'm gonna discard this 4, so I'm losing a lot of points with these treasures. Really trying to not lose points there. +7. 13, 2 hull. So at least that worked. But I mean, I did spend 4. I spent 8 points to save not losing 10. And 2 actions. So like, again, it's not a great transaction. My treasures are not looking great. Please be the end. Yeah, I'm gonna lose. When the Nautilus is in any Pacific Ocean, you can fail to gain 2 crew and 2 notoriety. Or I can place a thing in that ocean. A game's end passive unused. Stepping ashore had an exhilarating effect on me. Ned Land tested the soil with his foot as if he were laying claim to it. Yet it had been only 2 months since we become, as Captain Nemo expressed it, passengers on the Nautilus. In other words, the literal prisoners of his commander. Any 2s and it is game over. Well, I can make that work. Alright, the 1-2, I can't do it anywhere, but I can discard this to prevent an Imperialist power 1 time. Great. I mean, I just need... I need the game to end. 1, 5, 6. Everything comes out of this... Oh, this should be on the purple side. So the 1 I'll put here... Actually... Yeah, the 1 I'll put... Oh, it's so gross. Yeah, the 1 I'll put here... The 5 I'll put in the 3. Ooh, maybe I'll kill it. Oh, that is 5 actions. That's a thing. That's a lot of points. I'll go try to get that. And then the 5 is done, and then the 6 still needs to put a ship. This will just come here. Whoo! Okay. I'm gonna move. That's not the Pacific. That's not a Pacific. Move, kill, move. Do that, get 2 crew. It's a lot of points. I still have a reroll, thanks to Conceal being back for the 3rd time. I do not get +1 and then sight actions anymore. I'm just not worried about this cube. I just really can't be. So I'm gonna move here. I'm going to do a stalk action against this ship. I'm +3, +4, +5, -1 because there's warships present. So I just need a 6. I rolled exactly a 6. Don't show off. 2 of those. Please end this game. This is in the North Atlantic. That's 6 points, actually. I'm going to move. I'm now at the Pacific Ocean. When I'm there, I can just fail this to gain 2 crew or place a thing. Obviously, placing the 2 crew is better, distinctly better. I could try to place my last insight cube, which will maybe prevent that. I need this game to end. Why won't you just end? Crew or Nemo? Keep those treasures. Yeah, fine. I'll gamble +3 plus... Nope, he's dead. Woof. So +3 is actually +1. That's not a good gamble. Yeah, that insight cube is gonna stay right where it wants to. This should be on the purple side. I could search +4, +3. Oh, insight's actually my bad. Insight's even worse than that because it's -1 for each. Yeah, no insight. I have no insight. Search. Oh, search is the same. Oh, that math is horrible. It's per revealed ship. So we are just not meant to get treasures. I mean, I could move over. That gives me a crew. That's interesting. It's only a 6, 6, 8. It's got no points otherwise, though. I could do a stalk attack against this trans charter. I feel pretty good like I should be able to kill that. It's 3 points. No more actions. I have a reroll. 3 points becomes 2 points. Probably not worth the risk because if I take damage, I'm going to get really messed up. I could have searched back here. I haven't rolled since. Risk adding a black die, but frankly, I need this game to end anyway because if I roll a 2, it's just game over. So when I was back here, I would have searched as my last action if I had thought this through. Because why not? So it's 3 + 1 -2 because I revealed ships. So I'm +2 going in. I rolled a 7. I know there's a black die in there. It's counting because I mean I rolled a 1 with the black die, so it is what it is. So that's 9 -2, 8, 7. That gives me 1 notoriety, which now we get another black die getting rolled during every placement phase. I really need this game to end, but I do get the 1 treasure that was there. And if the game doesn't end, I'm going to pretend like it ends because this is insane. This is insane. I crossed that out to select 4 and return the other 3. That's a nice treasure. Except I pulled like garbage. So 4 points. I pulled a 3, a 2, a 1, and a partridge in a pear tree. Please be the end of the game. The anniversary, June 22nd, the anniversary of the Nautilus's launch was also the day in 1858 that Captain Nemo received news that his family in India had disappeared. Rarely was liquor permitted to flow, but on this day the crew had much to honor, and Captain Nemo, melancholy, had much to reminisce. I could lose as much Nemo as I want to regain characters. Don't want to do that. Please roll doubles with the whites because I did not. Can I survive that roll? I think I can. It gives me 3 actions. It's not great. 1, 1, 3, 4, 6. So yeah, the 3 will go here. The 4 is placing a ship. It's a white ship. I'll put that there because I have a chance to actually kill it because it's points for me. And then the 1, 1, 6. This is the game that never. Oh. End this turn immediately. So one of the ones does that. So these actions go to 0. So I effectively have no actions. Deadly Seas token. Nautilus breakdown, kids. Ooh, Coastal Village. So this is the 1. Bunch of Deadly Seas tokens here. I discard this. I can place a thing at this ocean if I'm able. I am able. So that's nice. And now just the 6. Oh. All the Deadly Seas tokens went to the bottom. Great Oceans. Place 2 more ships. So I'll put this in the 6. 2 more ships coming out. This is gross. It's a yellow ship. It becomes a purple ship. And any more Deadly Seas in there? Nope. It's a green ship. It becomes a purple ship. I have no actions this turn. I can't even add actions even if I had something that would give me actions. For the love of God. And it's the end of the game! All right, 20,000 leagues under the sea. Not a fact has been omitted, not a detail exaggerated, but now, what I now affirm is that I have a right to speak of the seas under which, in less than 10 months, I have grossed 20,000 leagues in that submarine tour of the world, which has revealed so many wonders. The game ends. First, resolve all adventure cards only in your tableau and place them in either the pass or fail piles. Oh, this is a bad card for me. Game's end, fail if unused. At game's end, pass if unused. I never got that +3. At game's end, pass. That's a bad score. Not good for the piracy motivation. So I'm going to count down the piles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And how many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Of course. Then subtract it with 0. If the score is negative, fail, otherwise pass. Great. That's worth 0 points of the joys. Okay. Let's score this puppy up. Game Center sending me a shipment. Piracy. Reset score. Let's make some magic happen. Look at the chat. That's a nice looking salvage board. Private Vendetta. Didn't you say +7 your repair roll? You get a free sneak on the flipped white ship. But when you put a warship in the ocean where you are, did you roll for the insight cubes during your lull turn? I don't think so. Hello at lunch. What's up, Angel? Yeah, I'm not sure. Brian seems like he was on it, man. Sorry I missed it. I got kind of just trying to bring this puppy to a close. All right, warships. Warship sunk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0 point warships. Just 1. So it gets rid of the negative because I get -1 per warship. Points on warships is 2. I know I'm at menace. So I'm just going to start taking these off. And I have no warship cards. Oh, now I should do the rest of these spells first. 4, 2, it's 6, 8, 9, still 9, 14, and this is going to be a science. So I'm going to put this over here. So 14 points on warships. All right, I'm going to clear this off. We've seen the game state. It's exciting. I have 10 cubes. They're all out. Great. Bam. Push that all up. So this is a dude. This is a wonder. I'll put these over here. Adventure card. Dude. Science. Adventure card. Adventure card. These are all from the pass file. The ones in the fail file, I'm just going to take them off before we get confused. Ding. Science. That's 2 things. Adventure card. Science. Adventure card. Wonder. Adventure card. Adventure card. Science. All right. Yeah, not a lot of cards. Then these go in. So that's going to be a non-warship, adventure card, adventure card. This is Squadouche, adventure card. Non-warships sunk. What did I get? 25 of these suckers. 26. 26 of 30. I will take it. So 26 non-warships sunk. There we go. Oh, and then I have this map room, which I think also counts. I don't know. Someone can tell me. It's 3 points each. That's super nice. Points on warships sunk. Oh, how many have 0 points? I don't think it's going to matter, but 1. But this is going to come over here because it's a wonder. 2 is 0 points. 3 is 0 points. I didn't get any of the Nemo crew. Yeah, this was not in the negative, so I'm not worried about that. This is no points. I'm just going to move those off. So 2, 3 had 0 points. Not that it really matters, but you know, I love this app. It's the Nemo's calculator. It's freaking amazing. I would highly recommend finding it, and that dude should definitely make it possible to pay him. All right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 29 plus 3 is 32, 33 plus 4 is 37, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 plus 5 is 49 plus 3 is 52. And just hitting this thing to put some points in here. Awesome. Adventure cards. Now, adventure cards are worth -1, which is super awesome. And by awesome, I mean terrible. So put the 0 ones over here. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards that have the adventure card symbol. -1 for each. But how many have 0 points? So this is 1 that has 0 and 6 more that have 0. And that's a person thing. So 7 that had 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get those points back. Points on adventure cards. So 3, 7, 10, 12. Treasure tokens. Not many. So wonder, I had to start spending them very aggressively to get my hull back. Not entirely thrilled about that. And then the last couple of searches I had, I just basically got trolled by the by the by the by the bag, which always makes me the happiest. So how many treasure tokens do I have? Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 treasure tokens. So +1 each. None of them have 0 points. The points on them is 5, 10, 15, 18. Not a lot for the piracy motivation. They're just hard to keep them when you keep getting plunked and you have to spend things to make sure. I was, again, fixing my ship. I don't think I wasted much, right? I mean, those rolls near the end are pretty sketch. Liberation cubes, we have exactly 10. I had nothing that gave me more than the 10 I started with. Didn't get the sunken fleet, there's like one thing with Nadine that can really help. I just didn't get any of that. Pre-pull, I'm going to put down here. Science points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because the sea serpent gives us 1. Points on wonders seen. So 1, 2, 3 wonders seen. And that's going to be multiplied, and then we're adding 1 on each. So I'm going to get 3 more points, and I'm going to have to put that somewhere else. I'll put that over in the treasure area. Ship penalty resources 0. Points on characters remaining. So each instance of a character gets +1 because of Nadine. So this is 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 0 because it was 16 minus 16, but it wasn't negative, so I passed. So 11, 12, 13 plus 12 is 25, and +1 for each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, it was 11, 13 plus 12 is 25 plus 5, so 30 points from characters. I'm just tapping my finger again. That's all I do. Just tap finger, tap, tap, tap. All right, and then Menace gives me 30 points from the C bonuses. And no negatives. So 281. It's not bad. It's Triumph, although I think he has I think he jumped everything up one. Yeah, it's not Triumph. It's Success. Success! I am a successful pirate. Go me! All right, 280 to 319. So we just snuck in there. Success! Assuming the scoring is right with everything I did. I don't know. Someone can tell if I'm wrong. Success, proving the superiority of the Nautilus' technology and his own leadership. The dread pirate Nemo cuts a swath through history as the world's last famous and most successful pirate. Popular culture still cherishes indelible tales of the imperialist ships sunk, looted, and taken as prizes by the Nautilus. The result has been a culture of personal independence and resistance. Seemingly every rebel since Nemo's voyages claims freedom and adventure as a birthright. This places the pirate philosophy in direct conflict with the rising socialist movements of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, causing long, protracted, and bloody wars between governments and peoples. Ultimately, Nemo's legacy leads directly to the pro-democracy movements of the late 20th century. And that, my friends, is a good way to end Nemo's War. Private Vendetta, you could have killed the ship in Ocean 4 with a free action, leaving a bit more room to maneuver. With a free action? What free action? I had no free actions. What are you talking about? No, oh, yeah, but no. I know what you're talking about. But the problem is, it was only warships, dude, and I didn't want to lose a roll, get plunked, and neither one was like a pushover. I was just, I was at the end, man. I just needed it to end. I hear what you're saying, but especially where Hull was, I was just like, from a point standpoint, I'm like, I didn't love where I was at. And I just don't think it made any sense. I wonder, if I sacrifice characters, like, these aren't worth enough points. I mean, I could have brought Aranax back, right? I get the -5. Oh, I could have done something like that, where I sacrifice one Nemo to get Aranax back, because that's 6, 7, 8 points, and then I spend this to get the Nemo back. That's a +4 point in my swing. That was something I should have done. Just kind of end game, like min-maxing the end. The crew bearing being up at full was super nice. Not losing any points from Hull. You're just, getting a couple of better treasures near the end would have been nice. But again, we are very far from the next level of victory. I mean, you're a solid 40 points. The finale cards, I mean, there weren't a ton I wanted to see. I mean, this is only worth 5. What was that last game I played? That finale card was worth $1 billion. I mean, this is worth 8. That would have been terrible. Woof. That's awful. Any combination of ship resources. Ooh, that could have been nice. Yeah, 10 points plus you can gain resources. Oh god. And I had the +3. Yeah, this would have been the best one. I had a +4 going in, +7 going in with the 3, and I had a reroll. So I'm like, excellent. So that's a 10-point card. Plus I gain 1d3 of resources. I gain 1 extra resource. Like, who cares? That would have been a really nice card. Woof. Alright, cool. So 10 points would have become 9 points because of the piracy motivation. But 0.4 on contact variety. Yeah, sure. Gotcha. Yeah. Woo! I mean, that card that saved, I needed that card that saved the Imperialist victory. That was sick. And then I just had a really lucky roll, where I had to place 5, and then fortunately, I mean, the game ended, and then fortunately no, sorry, then my turn ended because I pulled that Deadly Season. Unfortunately, the game ended right after that. Otherwise, I don't think I withstand another roll, especially not with 5 dice. I do think, like, it's almost like they designed the piracy motive for you to get to the end of the notoriety track, and I think if they wanted you to play the game on the notoriety track at the end, I feel like they didn't fully flesh it out. Because if you're going to punish me, but now I have to get the differential from that, right? And a lull turn's only determined by that. It should be like, you're so notorious that people are scared of you that you no longer have the -1, right? Or something. Like, something, there has to be a benefit. Because if you're making me put the extra die roll, all those extra ships in, I mean, 8 extra ships, and now everything's purple. Oh, and I'm only getting the placeholders in the black dice. The fact that you let me get to 51 isn't a benefit. Like, it's just like there's a conflict in how I think piracy is created, that I think this is very close to being my favorite motivation, and it might still be, but there seems to be a flaw and like it doesn't know what it is, what it wants to grow up. Like, or if you're at 50, every time you have a successful treasure, you get another one, or you get to look at a second one without taking it. Like, there should be something that gives you some reason why getting to 50 is a good idea. Because the whole time, with how this whole piracy thing is developed, you're still trying to keep that notoriety crazy low because you want to avoid that bag getting full of non-white ships. You want to kill all those ships. I mean, I got 78 points from the 21 white ships that I killed, plus the treasures and the crew. I don't think I got one that had gave me Nemo, but again, there was one white ship left in the bag. Woof. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, right, because I had 3 on the board. Yeah, so I had, what is that? Nothing, nothing. Yeah, I don't maybe where's the one that gives you Nemo? Unless I had it, I took it. I just didn't notice it. So I do think there's something weird with the design and piracy. Um, as far as motos go, it's super. Ooh, cyclone attack and all ships go away. That could have been helpful. Oh, I had another deadly season there. Placed 2 more ships. Yikes. Those are bad. Those, fortunately, I picked the good Deadly Seas early. That really, really helped this game for sure. Um, but yeah, I like it. I mean, World Order. I think I might play World Order one more time off camera because I'm realizing I screwed up the tonnage track thing, where I think I just gave myself a full 80 points for Scourge. Um, I'm not sure how the rest of that thing. I think I just filled up 2, and I was like, oh, I get 40 for that, 40 for that. But they managed I should have gotten. You have to fill the track up normally, and then you get adjacent tracks. So I did screw that up, but off camera. But the other is like Humanist is just a weird way to play. I mean, Humanist is like, how many times can you roll a 6? I don't know. The steam torpedoes attacks are interesting. I mean, there are definitely strategies that just never really worked for me. They even when they worked well, they just felt cheesy. And I think one of the things I like about the piracy is you have to be really thoughtful about every ship placement and trying to line up bold attacks. Getting the periscope device was super huge. It really just allowed me to, the periscope device and the strength and prow was just such a nice combo. It really allowed me to steamroll these 2 oceans, and those are often the hardest oceans to get your ships in because they're the most movement intensive to get in and get out, unless you get that Arabian tunnel, which of course I didn't. But the fact that I didn't get either the Q ships or the War Office Act obviously made this game possible. I mean, either one of those cards, and it's like, come on, dude, the game friggin' over. Um, this would have been interesting. The last event on here, move Nemo to the determined space, so I got to move them here, and then any Nemo gain gets me more wonders, and that would have given me another point just because of, Nadar. So there's a lot I love about this game, and there's a lot I don't, and I think it's such a weird conflict for me, that I'm really glad to have explored it. Like, and I just kind of get what all the, this is on so many solo lists of great games, and I see it. Like, it's a great game. It's just a very flawed great game. So, and you could, I mean, it's easy to give. I could take out 2 or 3 cards if I was comfortable. If I was like one of those people that's like, you know what, I'm going to house rule it the way I want, and I took out 3 cards or just 2 cards and like tweaked a couple of rules with some of the motivations. Like, I could see this just being just the game, but like I don't like house ruling, right? Like, it's just not something I do very often, and when I do, it's about when I start losing interest in a game. It's, I don't want to be a designer. I've never been a designer. Like, I want to just play a game, so just make sure your rules are balanced and not overly swingy, right? And like, I don't mind swingy games, even like all dice rolling games are swingy in a sense, but it's when it's swingy to the point of unfairness because I pulled a card and there's nothing I could have done about it. I can't plan against it. It's not like Spirit Island where it's like I lost my last game because on the channel because I pulled a card that made me add 2 blight. There were a lot of things up to that point that led to that blight being the issue that it became. There were choices I could have made earlier to prevent that from happening. Um, would have risked other things happening elsewhere though. So, you give that balance, a give and take. It didn't feel totally unfair. Whereas like, oh, all the British ships are now on their war side. Well, I mean, just half of this stack is British ships, dude. Like, imagine if even half of these were warships. Like, that's 70 less points. It's unbelievable. More than half of the stack are British ships. It's crazy. No, like it's such a it's a bad card. It's a card like where it should be, hey, during setup, here are these setup tweaks. Take out these two cards. They're not balanced for the piracy motive. Great. I'm totally cool with that. Like, just make the effort, man. Like, don't make me have to learn that. Like, that's not a fair game. But I think they got so enamored with the idea of, oh, you can switch your motivation, that they kind of I could, but I'm still going to score like crap now because again, everything went toward one direction, and now you want me to switch another direction. Like, that doesn't work. And it's just not very fun. It's like if I was playing Maze Knight and halfway through, oh, I could stop being Arethea and become Norowas. Like, what? Why? Why do I want to be Norowas? I'm not set up to be Norowas. I didn't recruit any units. What? Like, it's it's a weird approach from a design standpoint, and I think they just missed, and I think there's so much about this game that reminds me of Zed's, and just Zed's just does it better for me. But I could absolutely understand someone looking at this and being, no, this does it better. I mean, like, again, from the event deck to the the dice rolling, the resource management. I just think Zeds gives you more tools, and when Zeds is wildly wacky and imbalanced, and you have that crappy run of rolls, it's just not as punishing. And I think it's not as punishing because it's not a point. You're not chasing points in Zeds, you're trying to win. Whereas here, you're chasing points. So every single thing that's really bad is like, well, there goes 40 points. And you're just like, I can't come back from that, and actually have a result I'm going to be happy with. Whereas Zeds is like, oh my gosh, I withstood all the stuff and I still won because I survived. That's a much more satisfying experience for me personally. But, do do do. A good game, says Brian. I'm sorry we won't see this again, but it was a good run. Yes, sir. The game ended right when I needed to. Maze Knight says, me too. Flavor wise, it would make sense to get more points from treasures, pirates liking treasures and all. Yeah. Like, if I'm at 50, like, give me extra treasures, man. Or like every defeat thing you go through, you get a treasure. Like, I just feel like it got to a point, like, and I read there was a guy who did a lot of playtesting, I guess, for the piracy moto. I found a thread where he was on BGG, and like, I get some of what they're going for, and I really do like how thoughtful you have to be with placement. I love a lot of what piracy does, but I'm just like, it just doesn't. At some point, it breaks down, and you have this conflicting motive that it doesn't feel thematic to me for the what you're actually trying to do with piracy. And again, and then you're stuck fighting all these battles that of course you're going to take some hits, and of course you're now spending treasures to repair your ship, and or maybe it's just trying to say that crime doesn't pay. I mean, I gotta crime don't pay, yo. It's expensive. You gotta repair your ship and stuff. Oh man, this is cool though. Thanks, I appreciate the chat, Brian, and Vendetta, Maze Knight, Angel. Who else is here? Saget popped in and out a couple times. No, Madi showed his face a little bit, or showed his finger product. I don't know. The product of his fingers. I just don't like zombies. The theme doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, dude. I get that. I'm not a big zombie dude, but then like my favorite games, I love zombies in the context of board games and like nothing else. I'm just like, that's all right. But I love it in the context of Zeds. And I think also Zeds, to me, it kind of it pokes fun at the zombie stuff. It's almost like a parody of a bad zombie movie intentionally, and I think I have seen enough zombie movies where I get the joke, and I haven't seen that many, but I'm just like, this is funny, right? Like, because this is like things I've seen, but it's different. If it was trying to take itself too, I mean, but even then, like, I liked Resident Evil a lot because I think Resident Evil, it gave me the feeling of tension that I've never really felt in any other stealth game, and that's why I think I like that. But that's a campaign game, which I've played through the campaign twice, and I've moved on, right? Like, that was a game I really enjoyed exploring, but I highly doubt I'm going to play again, right? I mean, that is on the sell pile right now for a reason. but I love it. It's still, I think, an excellent solo game, and would recommend anyone picking it up. So if you're happy to be here, Brian says thanks for the game. Yeah, glad I can get this in. We'll be back tomorrow. I got Maids Night. We're gonna be doing Life and Death with somebody. I don't know. Norwas? I think it's Norwas. Yeah, Life and Death. We're gonna do the last Tesla scenario. We'll give it a run till I beat it. Hopefully that won't take a few more than a couple of videos, and then I gotta figure out what I want to do with Maids Night after that. And then Thursday, I think I'm gonna do. I think the plan is Final Girl. I'm gonna try to get Final Girl on the channel. I haven't done the Sacred Groves feature film yet, and it's like what is Slaughter at the Groves, I think, is the name of the feature film. So I've heard that's the hardest one. So I haven't tested it yet. So there's a chance that might not happen on Thursday, but that's the current plan, is to get that done. It's gonna have to be earlier too, so 11 o'clock. Tomorrow's at 1 o'clock. Thursday 11. Friday I can't stream, but I'll be back next week. I got some really awesome stuff happening right now with solo playthroughs. Just got another review copy being sent to me, which I'm super excited about, but I'll hold on to that information for a little bit longer until it's in my hand. Pretty much. So, yeah, good times. Thank you for everyone to join. You Nemo's War lovers, I hope these were fun. And I hope seeing me get frustrated was cathartic for you in a way. This is a very nice way to end the era for sure, with the 280 plus with the piracy motive. Definitely makes me happy. We'll see if I play this one more time off camera, but then it will be time to retire. I think this game, just too many games, man. Things need to happen. Make room for more stuff, especially on this channel. I think right now there are currently 17 games that are in cycle on some level, like, so games I've already featured that I'm planning to feature again, including the Nemo's War, and I have another 20 that I have in some process of, like, the queue to be on the channel within the next year, hopefully. So yeah, there's a lot of freaking games, man. It is a good time to be a solo gamer, so that's great for all of us. But that's how I feel about Marvel, but opposite. I like the movies, but don't care for it all in board games. Cool. Yeah, I don't really like either. Probably maybe I should give it a try then. I think it's worth it, dude. If you like Nemo's War, like, it's my number 3 for a reason, dude. It's just hilarious. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, Herman Lutman, his whole idea was player experience, and I don't think he did. I think the expansions were more like Alan, and the expansions are great. I highly recommend them. Um, there are some parts that feel like some of the stuff in here that I don't like, but it works for me in Zeds for reasons that I've already kind of alluded to. But yeah, Zeds is just, it's designed to just have fun, even when you're getting, your head pounded in. And it's a nice scaling. You start with level 1, learn the ropes, and then they kind of add layers of complexity, which in a way that's super smooth. And yeah, the whole thing it's just it's a great game. And I love it, dude. It's so good. Anyway, I will ramble about Zeds forever. And Nemo's War, thank you for everything you are. Well, not everything you are. Thank you for being you. It's a better way to say it. All right, I'm getting delirious. It's time to go. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.